What's with the Heeb's obsession with goths? I think it might have something to do with where the word comes from. I notice, like, you might notice it's all in the media, right? And then, but in my life, it gets, like, brought to me and shit, right? Preppies and, well, not quite. I mean, when you think of a preppy, you think of, like, a scientist, something like that. But there are, I guess, people who, I guess they're ghetto people technically, who went to preppy school. So I'm looking at it entirely wrong, but not ghetto either, because it's like weird. Because it's like, hell, I'm kind of like a ghetto metalhead, but I've never met people like that, and it's weird. I kind of like when I was being moved around, I was taking note of those events. Like I was forced to when my camera decides to leave my body and go into third person mode and go and sneak on people talking about me at one point in time. Fucking so you can see they have an obsession with goth from the outside slightly. You can't deny that slightly. That's all in the media and shit, right? Oh, and when they took me to learn piano, some I didn't want to do with a gay teacher at the church. The song he tried to teach me was the Addams Family theme song. And don't get confused by me wearing a shirt of Wednesday Addams drinking poison. I was drinking poison. Well, people were poisoning me. And I was like, hey, well, I guess it's Poison Sean time. So I was drinking poison too. And I was just like, well, that's a fitting shirt. But in reality, Addams Family used to be like some really fruity, weird. It was fruity, and the song was fruity too. It was like do 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 do. It was like okay, yeah. Even when I was a kid, I was like listening like MC Hammer and shit before I found metal. So I wasn't really into circus music and shit. TV theme show music, fucking, and not that one either. I do actually kind of play Great American Hero and shit like that, certain ones. But that one was like weird. It's weird, like that memory was set there. Like everything's being done with a purpose, right? And if it feels like a knife, if a crackhead comes up to you and they're like stabbing you with a knife and it feels like you're being stabbed with a knife, it's because it's supposed to feel like you're being stabbed with a knife. You're supposed to get that feeling from it. And I got that feeling, like, from it. Um, I didn't want to play piano. I didn't want to be at this place where a bunch of Nazis were talking about going and killing other people and eating blood and drinking blood and eating flesh and how great the master race is and shit. I just and then baiting little children with candy. Later to learn they had already performed pedophile mutilation acts on me, but assuming from what I was seeing that yes, these people are indeed child molesters, I felt very unsafe in that whole situation. Learning the pedophile song, being taught the song that sounded like some pedophiles would listen to and shit, playing an instrument that homosexuals play, pianos and shit, and being brought there by the fag hag who raised me. So the whole, it was designed. There's nothing there for me to be like, I was like extremely uncomfortable. No one give a shit about me. Life ain't about me. Your life is everyone else's to use. You are a slave and you will lick and wash the feet of the Pope. Or let what he needs, if you're a man, is to wash your feet because he wants to smell your genitals, and he knows you're gonna kick him in the face if he says he wants to smell your genitals. So he's got to make a fucking backward story for that shit. Fucking 6,000 years of fucking work can get you somewhere, even if you're a fucking idiot. You can figure something out. Hopefully, you're not gonna make it 6,000 years if you can't figure out one thing over that time. But anyway, so that's what it all seems like to me. And so I look into the thing like so they inserted that goth shit in my life when I was like 8. That's when they locked me in the room with the homosexual at the church, and then so yeah, that was like my foray into it. And I was like, so I'm like, this music makes me uncomfortable. This shit makes me uncomfortable. That shit, bitch is really fruity, that whole Addams Family shit. was like probably the only TV show I've never watched. Because I probably watch it. I know I insult people watch TV, but that's because I watch everything, and I know I'll make you a fucking idiot if you watch it. And I know it's stupid and it's a waste of fucking time. And it's the same thing over and over, anyways. So you'll figure that out once you see 200 films. It's AI regurgitating 7 fucking stories over and over, and you've really read it all once you've read one thing for each fucking group there. Anyways, so I questioned the goth thing, like why it's all on my feed and shit. In the world, like promoted, but it's not really, like the goth club in my town was like this little place like 25 people went to and shit. And I went there because my ex, her girlfriend, her sister, whatever, went there. So I was like, oh, cool. So it's like not a country bar. And so it's the only bar in town that's not a country bar and shit. And so I would just go there, to support them just because they weren't fucking country. And, I mean, it sounds cool. Let's get the fuck out of the bar and get in the truck and go run over some shit and drive up some hills and do some mudding and all that. But fucking sitting at the fucking bar listening to music just wasn't in it for me. So I went to the other place because I figured maybe there'd be some other person like me there on occasion. On occasion I go there. Generally I went out looking for someone like me because I wasn't expecting to find them at either of those two places. So so there seems to be an obsession. They brought some into my life later several times, and you can tell like these are like Muppets. I think they're both Muppets. To be honest, I think they're both Muppets. That's why when something's going on, pay attention to it, because I don't think these are living beings. I think these are NPC, and they're playing out plot lines. And each little bit of thing they do is some sort of shit that's relevant to what's going on. Because in my life, all this shit adds up. I got this crazy memory. Like, I'll forget you in 7 days. If you go on vacation, my life will no longer be revolving around you if you're gone a week. And that's just the way it is. It's like, I'm not going to sit at home and cry in the closet. And when I do, it's a waste, right? Every time you do that, you're wasting your fucking life. And you're probably going to notice that the other person ain't fucking crying over you at all. And you're the bitch. So learn that now. Learn it fast. Learn it young. And don't feel like you ain't got no heart just because you're fucking being attached to something that doesn't even like you. And then so I noticed too that when they bring them into my life, not only do I not really like them, but I think they don't really like me. Yeah, I would say so. They all see, goth isn't that cool blade music you listen to, right? And shit, it's not techno. Techno is rave kids, and I go to those places, and I kind of really like that shit, but I don't listen to it, I don't play it. My one friend is a person I know. I don't know if I know him well enough to be a friend, but maybe. He DJs, and he mixes deathcore with dubstep, and then you get kind of like horrorcore and shit like that, fucking Code Pandorum. But his shit was heavier than that. So, I kind of expect to find something like that if I go to places like that, and I did. But I would rather be with the hippies at the rave and shit, but raves are hard to find, right? Yeah. Anyways, we're not going to get on the topic of where to find this. They'll pop up and they'll disappear, and that'll be the end of it for you. And I found later, like 40 years, there's metal clubs that did that. They popped up in someone's basement and shit, and it was really weird. And, like, bands actually came and played, and maybe that happened at some point, but I'd never seen that shit in the past. I just figured this is a dead city. I drove around all the time and never seen anything like that. But I noticed I got an obsession with it. So if there's something going on here, and especially if it's drawing your attention to it and pointing it out over and over, as part of their agenda. And so what we have is, who are the goths? Where does this word goths come from? Well, they were the Christians. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine them being obsessed with that? Now, this was after Christianity was invented by Rome. and Rome spread the good word to Europe. And then Europe went and sacked Rome after that, and then they made a deal with them and made them god of the world. So, in essence, it is Sauron's cult. Sauron left the Middle Earth to colonize Europe and Russia and China and everywhere else, and then turned around. Just like now, look at America. They colonized their way to America, and they turned around, and now they're recolonizing the Middle Earth, right? They're right back there at Rome, right south of Rome, right across the river from Rome, and they're bombing it, right? And they're recolonizing it, because I think what's most likely happened here is they don't have the armies and the manpower to conquer and kill the people they want to kill, and they go and they spread the good word about joining the Salvation Army and shit like that. It seems to be what it is. Why is America using all of its resources to go bomb the Middle East? Well, that's a simple answer, because the people who own the media, the famous people, all the famous musicians, most of the famous actors, all the people you look at, all the politicians, most of them fucking, all the people you worship, you got your Einstein picture on the wall, they're all people who claim they're from Middle Earth. They're all Sauron's hordes, claiming, Einstein is a Sauronist, Zionist, Sauronist, same shit, right? And so that's why they're doing that. Not because that's what Christians do. Christians don't think they're fucking from the Middle Earth. Christians think they're from their nation and shit, but they donate, and then the donation goes out the door. Like when Anton LaVey, the writer of the Satanic Bible, you donate your money to him, and what's he do? He goes and he funnels guns to Israel and shit, right? That's exactly what the Christians do. Same fucking people. It's called the Bible, Satanic Bible, Christian Bible, Bible. No one would use the word Bible if they weren't part of it. It's very simple. You're not the BLM Nazis. You're not the Black Panther Nazis. You're not the fucking KKK Nazis. You're not the fucking La Raza Nazis. You're an entirely different thing, because that's what you are, and let it be known. Now, when you're the same thing, you let it be known you're the same thing too, fucking, right? So anyway, so I get the idea. See, what seems to be happening here is that 2000 AD Rome was zero, because they changed the language. This is what our beautiful friends use religion to do. They change the date to erase history. That's why you call it 2020, because Elon Musk, Donald Trump, your local preacher, most of the people who own these buildings out here, most of the people at the hospital, the people who built the hospital, the people who designed the hospital, the people who fucking designed the idea behind it, etc. The judicial system, the judges, the fucking lawyers, definitely. All that shit. They make that happen. Fucking, just like that's why all that money goes towards stealing land in Middle Earth and protecting people in Middle Earth, because that's their home, and they're leeching money off everyone else in the world in order to build their fancy gold palace in Rome. Okay? No one else has the gold palaces for a fucking reason, because all the money's going there. All roads lead to Rome. They just said, we changed our name, now we're not Rome. And I think some of us probably are fucking, realize they've raped and pillaged across the fucking planet, so many people probably are part of them, and what are you gonna do? Especially if you're a Nazi and shit, fucking, you're not gonna be like, my family's fucking evil, like that one is really involved. Like, most people I know, then again, I know a lot of them, and it might just be a genetic trait, fucking, to be extreme Nazis and shit, but, hey, it might be standard too, fucking, who knows? I don't know. You see, I kind of get taken away from other people, so then that makes me notice this more, that I get forced around these other people. So they've got an agenda here with pushing this in the mainstream and all that and shit. And they listen to pretty shitty fucking music. No one listens to it, so they don't promote the music and shit. But you're confused if you think techno is vampire music. So you've never been to a goth club or met a goth person. Fucking, you met a poser. You met a poser, but that's not it. So when they put Blade on TV, that's not it. That's just TV shit. Fucking, there's a reason they don't actually play goth music in the Blade movie, because it wouldn't be, people just like, okay. It wouldn't fit the movie and shit. Fucking, there's energy, there's action to it, and goth music is like slower than country music and pop music, and it's like sadder than country and pop music, and so it doesn't sell well. You can't play that at the store when you're going in and you're supposed to shop. You need that shopping music. It's time to shop. We're gonna shop. Gonna work real hard. Working all day, getting that money, time to shop. If they play gospel music, it'd be like, I'm tired. Oh, I want to kill myself. We're going to shop. No, I'm not going outside today. We're not shopping. We're going home. And then the brainwashing would occur, and you just go home and shit. You start crying in the store and you go home. And you wouldn't buy anything, so they're not going to play it at the fucking store either. Just like they ain't going to play metal because they don't want your brain starting to work. And they ain't going to play fast music, techno, because they don't want your brain starting to work and shit. And then, because then your brain starts to work and you'll be like, what am I wasting my time here buying junk for? And then you'll go out in the rest of the world and your brain will work and you won't fall for any more fucking scams from them too. 6,000 years, this is all they've done. It's not a lot of shit. Don't say someone can't do this. For 6,000 years, I would slap your ass upside the head if you're 6,000 years old and you couldn't do 7 fucking things over 6,000 years and shit. I would try to figure out, stick your finger in the electrical outlet. You need some charging, some very simple fucking things here. Write a book of a bunch of lies. Continually write books of lies. They're using probably AI to repeat it for centuries. I mean, I think they're too lazy to write, so I kind of get the idea they're not. And look how fast the movies and news and shit are generated. They're not real actors and shit. That's fake. Some of that shit's auto-generated. Some of that news shit's auto-generated. Those people ain't even... Are they even appearing in court when I see that shit instant appear? Who knows? Fucking... Apparently it can generate some shit, but they're not working for that shit, so... They're not writing all that. There's 10,000 different fucking books. I'll tell you that. Anyway, so the point is, the NPC here, they got fucking an agenda. There's a purpose to being locked in here with them. And that purpose is probably somewhere hidden in their dialogue, especially the dialogue that gets forced on me and shit. Fucking, I'm assuming the purpose is all in the dialogue. Because for some reason, I think it's the NPC robot shit. They can't say words they don't know. You can't either, right? So, if you don't know what an aquarium is, you can't use the word aquarium. Fucking. So this is how I study people around me and shit. They tell me, they talk about things that they're thinking about, but then they're usually talking about, so they're like, oh, that person down the street's a pedophile. Well, let's go over here with the church, and I'll lock you in the room with the gay man at the church and shit. And I was like, that's an odd fucking time to speak of such topics and actions to occur right after. It sounds to me like you got those words in your head for some reason, and these actions in your body. They might be correlating with one another, probably, always. They always say no. All they do is say no. They're brainless robots. They don't even exist, and soon many of them probably aren't going to exist at all. You soon, hopefully, we get empty lands where we can go build villages again and shit. Fucking, we take this place back to fucking teepees and shit. You know, TP every 10,000 miles. Fucking, we will be able to make sure when they come around that they ain't coming around with their bullshit, and they don't come around again. Currently, with their little Nazi governments across the fucking globe, they got a lot of protection. Like they came after me because they killed themselves trying to kill me and shit. And it's like, you are pathetic. You guys should be killed for fucking taking my life away. My blood's worth more than your whole family will ever make. You low IQ kindergarten failing motherfuckers. Nazi fucking Hebrew loving trash. Yo, what the fuck? Why, this is a huge part of them treating me like I'm their dog. And they've got this little toddler IQ when by the time they die, that's the best they have. Their whole lifestyle is shit. Just, I mean, just raping dogs and all that shit. Fucking, they'll fuck everything that moves. And it's like a fucking disease and shit that just spreads to the fucking air, but it's in a flesh bag. Just turn on Howard Stern and listen to it. That's what they're all like. Everyone I met that's Donald Trump, all the Trump clones, the reason why I know what fucking Howard Stern said is because of Trump clones. And who brought the goths into my life? One time at least, the Trump clones. But wait a minute, they're bringing everyone. But I don't like those people. You know, like I don't want to go kill them or nothing, but I don't like dogs. You know, most dogs either. They slobber and they're dirty and they're annoying. I had a really good dog. It was a wolf. Fucking, I think that's the only reason really why I had it, because it was half wolf. And then I raised another really good dog. But, I mean, for the most part, why would I want one? Why do I need one? You know? Unless it's to protect me, which is a good idea, but it didn't protect me from kill my other animal, and because the person it should have protected me from it didn't deal with that person first, didn't eat them. Yeah, it would have within a couple months. If she didn't set it up to kill that animal, it would have seen what she did to me, and she would have been its lunch, and I would have laughed and kicked her in the fucking head as it ate her. Fucking, but this is life. This is the reality of Earth. This is what I lived through. And then you got NPC coming up to me, fucking feeding me dialogue and shit, and all sorts of dumbassery, fucking trying to get me in this goth shit. Like, seriously, you know, like, because the goths are supposedly Christians, but I think it looks like what Christianity was Roman invaders changing their fucking name. And, the Roman Catholic Bible. You see, they got, like, this little tiny speck of dust in their fucking brain, in their head, that they call a brain, and it sure the fuck has nothing in it. You couldn't even talk to someone. I couldn't even expect people to be as dumb as they are. Like, I've never thought about fooling people with dumb shit like that, because I was always like, well, no one's going to fall for me saying I'm invisible and I didn't just do the things I did and it was someone else. But lo and behold, this is the most popular thing on the planet, is blaming invisible goats for what visible people are doing and letting them get the fuck away with it and shit. And so, and that's always, you know, I'm a toddler, I'm an embryo, and they're talking about that, and I'm like, you guys sound retarded. Are you guys dumber than an embryo? And they're like, we're gonna beat you up. You don't call us dumb. We're barbarians. We kill, and we drug, and we enslave, and we're smarter and better than you. And it's like, wow, you're all of that except for smarter and probably better. I'd like to see you do any of that shit. Fucking, but this is what you deal with that, and they're using the violent, you know, the Roman invaders come from Middle Earth, Sauron's hordes come up here, and then they fucking tell us what the fuck to do and how to do it, and how many times we should do it, and how many times we can't do it, and all this shit. And it's like, my answer since I've been 6, since I became conscious at 6, since I was 6, that's weird. You know what? It's likely, let's stop saying those. Let's take the patterns of the people around me and assume that they never they never stopped doing those. You know, they didn't start those when I was 6. They started them when I was born, which makes sense. I'm sure with the child mutilation and rape at birth, they drug me. I'm sure they drug every newborn at the Roman hospitals over here and shit. Because that's what this sick-ass nation does, is fucking, that's all they do. And it's a good answer as long as they aren't in control of it, running it like Pablo Escobar fucking Sr. and shit. Donald Trump, the world's largest dope dealer, fucking the Pope. Fucking, that's who the largest drug cartel is. They own all these hospitals selling all these drugs, those heebie-jeebies from the fucking Sauron land and shit. That's why they got Sauron's eye on their fucking, on the currency and shit. Because that's who they are. They ain't victims. They wasn't slaves. They did the enslaving, because that's all they do, and they can never change, and they only got like minutes of dialogue for their personality and shit. It almost never changes. It's just like the same fucking output and shit every time you... I mean, there's one motherfucker saying the same shit 40 years later. It's not a living being, I'll tell you that much. That's not how a living being works. I don't even say the same shit fucking 4 minutes ago and shit. That's done. It's over. You're a living being. You've been living for millions of years. You ain't worried about saying the same thing on repeat and shit. Fucking. But they push that really fucking hard and shit. And, I noticed they didn't push. I think that's because also that's their LGBT agenda right there. And like I grew up in that city where they started that. Yeah, that got out of hand fast, didn't it? I mean it did. I didn't notice because I was being told how great it is when I was being pushed in the room with them when I was a child, left alone with them when I was a child and shit, which doesn't sound like any responsible parent would ever do, yet alone a responsible organization against such things would ever do. It turns out to be they're just in the closet for some, because they fear that something bad's going to happen to them as they come out of the closet. I think that's what it is. I think it's because they understand no one likes that, and no one likes them. You know, would you like the Pope coming up onto you and licking you? You know, the average man, what do they do to a woman? They run up on it and hump its leg and fucking lick it, and the bitch cries rape, and then the judicial system is like, well, that's not really rape. He was just being friendly. You are out of control. You are a Karen. If a man walks up to you and humps your leg and licks you, he's just being friendly. That's like he's giving you a hug. You don't love people. You need to be positive, Karen. Fucking, you see how playing both sides, saying, and the other Scooby-Doo character makes it so they control both sides. And then they got a third side, too. Fucking science. People don't believe in flying reindeers, but believe they work with flying reindeers to make spaceships that go to heaven. Fucking amazing. But all they got is 3, to be honest. All they got is 3. I think it'd fry their brain if they come up with more than that and shit. Fucking, they'd probably go schizo and be robots be fucking malfunctioning in the street and sparks flying out their fucking head. Something like that would happen, right? I doubt we actually waste, $50 quadrillion making a planet full of robots. I doubt that much. That would be a waste. I would slap that motherfucker silly and shit for wasting fucking money. Someone would one of the tops would come down and be like, "This, you're canned. Get the fuck out. You're wasting money on this job." But they have an obsession with it, don't they? You've seen it, and I got tired of it after like so long. Like I said, I'm here wearing the bitch's shirt because she's drinking poison. I think that part's pretty cool. But that's not even goth. Like, goth is like sad and depressing, and the old shit was like really LGBT. I mean, it still is, right? But I mean, it was all fruity, and I really want nothing to do with that. And the people are all fruity, and yeah, I mean, no offense, but I guess that's the way it is. You know, they look at me like, oh, would you turn that loud noise off? Oh, I need to listen to easy listening. I need my easy listening music. The loud noise is hurting my head. It's so fast, my brain is popping and frying. That's actually what happens. You speed your brain up with fucking faster shit, and then that slow shit sounds like real fucked up. So when you bring your brain, when you smoke a bunch of drugs and bring your brain down to like a slow level, that faster shit, your brain is like, you can't keep up with it, so it sounds like noise and shit. So that's a real thing. I do that shit. I have to bring myself back because they don't make music that's above a certain speed, because I think they'd fry their robot circuits most likely. I think that's the reason why AI Hollywood makes this simple fucking music. Plus, there's also, you know, they got the Bible and they got their music. It's about erasing your brain, bringing it down to nothing, and filling it with garbage. After they drain your brain, they fill it with garbage. Fucking. And so it, you know, what they're promoting, right? What they promote. Fucking, it's part of what they promote, and they tend to promote garbage, don't they? Even my grandma said the house, all right? She'd slap you in the mouth if you said fucking that wasn't true. Even my grandma is probably more part of that shit than many people. Fucking, like, but you know, the people telling you about the slippery slope done slide down the slope, and they're at the bottom there performing their homosexual pedophile rituals. They know about the slippery slope. They're telling you about the slippery slope. They're just saying, watch out for it, you know. This is a slippery slope. We're down here. No, we can't even talk about what we do now because the whole world will be on a witch hunt against us. Fucking. Anyway, so just take note. Every little thing they do is agenda, propaganda agenda. Every word they say, and there'll be most of the words coming from other people. Because are other people making up anything on their own, or are they regurgitating what TV has told them? I know, you know, I might take a guess. Very few people are making up their own stuff. There's not a lot of stuff being invented. You would think that it would be if that was the case. But so yeah, you gotta watch out for that propaganda. And so it like started to get, it got sick with me when I was like 6, to be honest, and shit. But I was being told, I was being drugged and beaten to repeat every word I'm told. I'm told like, these people are really great, and you must accept all these people. And I was being groomed. Like, the people grooming me were definitely part of what they wanted into the fucking world. You know, pretty basic sounding, right? A person is going to tell you they're great and everything about them is great. And then a narcissist tells you, beats into you that everyone else is evil. You know, a violent barbarian beats into you that they're great, and then a violent barbarian beats you into, if they're a narcissist, beats you with an ego and an enslavement problem. You see our little fraud, Professor Fraud behind psychology and his pals. There's two things I've noticed that they don't have a definition for, and because it's them. Enslavers, you don't have a mental problem. Go out and enslave everyone. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't need locked away in a room, get some sterilization and a nail shoved through your brain and some electroshock therapy if you're an enslaver. Hell no, because they got the enslaver fucking symbol on all their fucking buildings. It's the only reason it exists is because they're enslavers and shit. That's why they build buildings to drug people. What the fuck do you think drugging people is? It's an advanced form of slavery. Highly advanced slave cattle control. Fucking, there's a reason they built those churches on top of the millions of fucking corpses of people they've killed who said no to them having sex with them. That's to say, they build the fraud builds this fucking psychology temples, literally named after the Epstein-Wexner crew over here. Fucking, you need any more proof that they need to go back to Middle Earth? Fucking, I would take everything with them except for the nukes, because we're gonna need those to help the Middle East protect themselves. Fucking. So there's got to be an agenda. I mean, these people, they slime ain't up to nothing. All the slime on TV, what are they? Rich people after money. All the slime selling shit you find anywhere. Even the lowest workers, technically, they're just after money. Most people wouldn't be doing most of this shit, but you got your salesmen, and then the higher ups are selling the junk they sell and the scams they sell, you know. The owners of Google are behind all the scams you see on Google, all the fucking fake AI generated media with the fake AI generated content promoting their fucking Middle Earth supremacy, etc., 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 and the New Age supremacy. If you don't like this church, you'll like the Church of Neo. You don't like getting raped by men at this church. Neo doesn't rape people in the movie during the half hour that he's on film. You should go to him. Fucking dumbassery. You know, they be trying to pull me straight into that shit and shit. You know, it's like, but I'm the one, you know, they be trying to tell me I'm God, and I'm the one telling you it's all bullshit. So I guess I know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? You see, because they're trying to bait someone in to be their martyr, as John Schaefer, the musician from Ice Earth who invaded the Capitol, was saying in his songs before he went and invaded the Capitol to set up some fake invasion on the Capitol. And then they're tugging at your heartstrings from the fake cops who didn't die and shit that day. Cry, cry, cry. You get the liberals on that side crying for the Nazis. You got the liberals crying for the Nazis. Oh my God, a Nazi died! I can't believe a Nazi died protecting. Wait, what's that called? The fucking. Yeah, was that building Hitler lived in called the Wehrmacht or whatever? Fucking the SS castle. Fucking, oh my God, Hitler died. Hitler died. I can't believe they killed Hitler. Fucking, just like that crying at that school. And first of all, it's a school. It's stupid as fuck. Who gives a shit about a school? What about the parents sending their children to school? When are we going to start investigating why they're neglecting their children and sending them to those places to be enslaved so they can sit at home and watch naked men on TV all day? Huh? When are we going to do that? Why are we going to care about schools when we should be getting rid of them? They're not doing anything good. They're terrorists. They're drugging children, and the parents sending them there are drugging their children. It sounds like a terrorist organization. They're teaching me that when I'm there to go kill people in the Middle East, it's a goddamn terrorist organization. That's the school. SCHOOL. Drive down the street, you'll see a place like that. Just keep driving down the road. Within 5 minutes, you'll see one of them. Any direction you go back to where you start, go the other direction, you find another one. Go the other, just like the hospital, drug cartel fucking organizations. The pedophiles. Legalize pedophilia, homosexuality. That's why it's so sick, because they know it's just one step away. It's just about people who want to have sex with everything, and that's what their people do. It's like mosquitoes and shit. What is that? Rabbits, they say, except for they don't. Well, rabbits look pretty sick up close, actually. So they only look cute at a distance. When you get up close, they look like rabid fucking rodents. So, yeah, I guess like rabbits. I hate that. I'll let you notice that too. They love their invisible rabbit stories. Of course, they stole that from the Greek when they were still back in Middle Earth, fucking working their way up the coastline there, fucking from Isis, right? The goddess Ishtar, the goddess Ishtar. Wait a minute, isn't that? Oh yeah, that's all the way back when they were slaves. Look at all the stuff they kept from when they were supposedly slaves. Yeah, maybe they're actually the pharaohs, and they wrote a Bible saying they aren't the pharaohs, and that's all it takes is telling it, no, I'm not that person. And in every conversation you have with them about this, no, I'm not. No, that's not true. No. That's all that's why they blah 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 blah. Micro machine, fast, small, micro machine, micro machines. That's why all the conversations end up like that. Fucking, not all, but damn, bro. Fucking, I already heard this shit when I was a kid. I don't need to hear it again. I already got it figured out when I was a kid. I had it figured out before I was told what was happening. I could see the people around me, how the people around me were acting, and I was like, that's what built this fucking nation, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, yeah, Grandpa died in the war. Oh, yeah, you got a house out of it. Oh, yeah, you're from some other country, and you're living in this country. Oh, yeah. I already had that figured out before I went to a history class, before I went to before I was conscious enough to remember any of the stuff at the church and hear the kid tell me he can't wait to go kill all the people in the Middle East and shit and bring back Israel. Fucking, I already knew that. There's people around me, whoever they were, I already figured it out from them. I was like, oh, this is how people move and work. And wow, it fits into the piece of the puzzle. Someone's like, I want a Porsche. It's like, oh, maybe they killed the people on this land to steal their shit to buy a Porsche. Quite possibly. They seem obsessed with the Porsche, fucking. Yeah. So, the goth thing, I have looked into that, like I said, and I think that it's related to cultural appropriation, which was probably how it was probably already done by the time the Visigoths became famous. I think that's probably how the Goths came into existence. It was Romans going into Germany, and it's highly likely. If not, there is the written part where they said, when they were sacked, they told them like, hey, if you work with us, and so now, so it doesn't matter if they were at first, but to imagine it getting from Rome to North America requires leaving Middle Earth to get to North America. It doesn't just, I don't just yell it out the window and people over on Mars are like, hey, Sean's talking about the sale at Taco Bell today. Let's go to Earth and let's tell everyone how great the Taco Bell sale is. It's not how it works. I would have to go to Mars and tell them about the great Taco Bell sale and why they should buy some Taco Bell for me. Fucking. So, but anyways, written after that is they joined forces. And they did it by what? By making him Jesus. Pretty much. They made him Lord, right? Because that's all that really meant, was making a person Lord, and then they made up little stories about shit, and probably a fictional story about a person whose blood they drank and flesh they ate. But then again, I know these people, and they would serve some of their flesh and blood, or like to eat some of yours. So definitely we have that. My one friend said the other friend wouldn't do it, but then he's like killing people, and it's like, Oh, if you're killing people, why wouldn't I think someone else could kill people? Like, trust me, those other dudes might not be what you are. He might not be a professional fucking hitman, but this other dude is like, I'm sure he's raping and killing animals, and I'm really getting that vibe from him. And so when he says it, I'm not like, you're a liar. Like I don't even think you'd talk about that shit unless you're doing it. That's like real extreme. Like I don't think you really talk about that shit unless you're doing it. Fucking. Anyway, so people had brought um, this into my life several times, and like each time it's like, okay, I'm like, what is this? But you know, it's like enough to make me remember, like, what is this? Why is this being brought into my life? And then we come up with the whole, there's there's a program happening on Earth, and which I've known that since a kid. I was being told it's not anyone I know, and it's everyone else. But go and kill all the people in the Middle East for them and shit. It's always not them, but go and kill all the people in the Middle East for them. For some reason, I don't know why. They're gonna go back home someday. Um, it's just like Americans are gonna go back home someday, and Australians are gonna go back home someday, and yeah, the Palestinians are gonna go back home someday. All that good shit, right? All that good shit, fucking sure. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. It don't make no sense. You conquer every nation on the planet in order to conquer one in the middle of the planet. It doesn't look like you're trying to go back to where you came from. Fucking, you don't call me stupid, but if I see a dog run away from its house and never go back, but goes to 17 different nations, 100 different nations, I get the idea the dog don't want to go back home. Fucking 6,000 years later, dog, why haven't you gone back home? Well, I'm gonna go back home one day, maybe. Don't you worry about it. When the time comes. It's like, but keep it open, I own it. I own that place, so yeah, and I own these houses over here too, and this place, and that place, and that place, and blah 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 blah. Yeah. I mean, it just one word out their mouth, one sentence, and it's obvious what's being said. There's no need to say that. I don't need to go around telling people I'm going to go back home. Even especially if I were going to go back home, I wasn't going to tell no one. Then someone would try to stop me. Fucking. And the other thing is, you start moving around, and you realize Earth is your home, and that old place is pretty fucking stupid. That's because it's like you like see the world. You're like, oh, there's a world. It's more than a TV. Look at that stuff on TV was a lie. That's something else happening out here. Fucking. But the whole goth program. I noticed then they responded at my feed with some shit like we're over goths now. It's like, well, we were over goths when we were 6 and being locked in the church with the gay man trying to teach us about the Addams Family song on an instrument we didn't want to play. Because it started, it sets in. It's like everything related to that incident is like, ew, that's not cool. I'm being forced to play music I don't like, play an instrument I don't like, be around people that other people are telling me are predators in a building of predators, professional globalist predators. Like, obviously, anything to do with that. That's like them forcing their way into my life now. When anyone who looks like them, who's like trying to rape me or kill me or whatever, when they send a clone, like that's all I think of, right? But they think they have the right to speak to me and be my lover. So let's relate this back to the people they forced into my life early. Why are they so obsessed with the goth thing and shit. Fucking, why do they promote that fucking 24 fucking 7? I don't know. Yeah, it's cool they wear all black. That's about it. Fucking, that new shit is not goth. I'll tell you that. I respect them for being goth people. Obviously, because I would go to their place and didn't like the country music. Fucking, I always thought I'd meet someone lost like me, because that's how I got taken there. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, not someone lost, but someone who just knew there was nowhere else to go. Fucking, definitely ain't going and listening to fucking. Well, I guess the people there did listen to Madonna and Depeche Mode, but I don't know if they played that shit at bars. I don't go to fucking bars. That's what I know is there's no metal bars, so I wouldn't really go. I got tired of driving around looking for people, and then I would occasionally stop into that. It was called like Outcast or Outlands, fucking like some outcast shit, fucking cool people and shit, but you know, not like what I can work with as a partner and business person type shit. Fucking, my friends were definitely not that. So, but I noticed they would like force that in my life, and then they brought that Nightmare Before Christmas to the screen. So I get the idea. We can see a pattern here of cultural appropriation and shit. Where look at it, okay? Look at America. When have you met an actual American? I don't know if I ever met one. I wouldn't. Outside of going to the West Coast and shit, I think I've seen a couple here recently, possibly. I didn't ask them, but I know I went out to some places by the reservations out west and shit. But everyone here is an American, right? Because it was 300 years ago. Those people were killed. Who cares? So, I get the idea that that's been done 100, 200 times. Easy. Like right now, who are the Ukrainians? You can see this is going on. Who are the Ukrainians? Who even cares? Fucking, it's gonna be someone. And I think the point of war is to make it so it's someone else and shit. It used to be Khazaria before it was Ukraine. So they culturally appropriated Khazarians who culturally appropriated the people before that and shit. Fucking, or they took their shit back from the Khazarians. Something like that. But I think that's what their obsession with pushing that shit on people might be and stuff. I thought it was cute and cool and not offensive. But if someone uses something as a weapon against you, then it doesn't matter what someone else thinks or how someone else feels. They are promoting that weapon being used and shit. And that's how that ends up and shit. Fucking, supposedly, it's like religion. Supposedly there was a anime character 2,000 years ago who came and let everyone drink his blood and eat his flesh so he could make them living beings or something. And I'm glad we used to be able to drink blood and eat flesh. These days I am kind of like, well, what are the benefits? What are the healthy benefits? Fucking, I'm glad that happened, right? But then all of a sudden Rome is colonized the whole world after that, under that flag. So I get the idea it's the same thing as everything before it. Now before that, the god was a man in a bird mask. So you can see how that wouldn't fool some people, and they would have to change it around and shit. Yeah, it looks pretty simple. It was all very simple when I was born. People start talking, people tell me 1 or 2 sentences. I take the words that are available in their head, their direction, they're trying to promote it. They send me to camps to learn how to shoot, basically military training. I get sent to military training when I'm 6, and then it comes out to be that was invented to invade other nations. For child slaves to go, and Boy Scouts was for child slaves to go invade other nations. And it all makes sense. It's like, oh, these people are forcing me to do fucking hard slave labor when I'm a kid and shit. Fucking for pretty much free. I don't see the money from it. Fucking. And I'm like, oh, so there's a long history. You see how I can analyze what the one person is doing, and then it's like you look at the ant, you watch what the ant's doing, and then you watch it go to its temple or its anthill. And then, wow, I'm amazed. The temple is all about what the ant was doing. The ant is doing everything inside the temple, outside the temple. Wow, mind blown. Can't believe it happens, right? But I'm 6 years old and I see this shit in people. Fucking, I know. I mean, I literally fucking posted some of that shit fucking where I was talking to someone 40 years ago. Again, and I told you in the video before what they're going to say, and then I told you that's what they said. That's what they was talking about, because that's what they was talking about. And it was related to the ant temple and shit, too. Not only that, it's still the ant temple hospital and shit. Fucking still 40 years. See, 40 years of watching the same ant walk in a circle over and over, and then pick up the crumbs and take them back to the temple, and then come out the temple and then kill another ant if it dislikes the fucking temple and shit. You know, they all gang up on the one ant and shit. And the queen's like, kill it! And they kill it because it doesn't. It's like, maybe we should go like build a space shuttle and go to Mars instead of picking up crumbs and stuff and dirt. And it's like, kill it! It doesn't want to do that. It's a lot of ants are Luddites. They can't evolve. They're still picking up dirt and crumbs off the ground centuries later. And they'll kill you if you're an ant and you do anything else. Obama said they're like ants. Now, Obama's one of them, though. He's trying to say that, like, distancing himself with the name Barack is 12th century BC ruler of Israel and shit. Fucking, that's the whole point of planting him in there, is because he's not actually someone else. It's because he's on board and shit, fucking bloodline-wise. I know my people interaction. I'm the only one who is like, well, if you're not my friend, you're not my lover. And if you're not my friend, you're not my family. And if you're not my friend, you're also not my friend. I might be one of the only people I met who has a boundary. It doesn't get respected. People don't respect boundaries, but yeah. So to me, this is an important topic too, because it seems to be something pushing my life, and I think it's more than just because in the year 2000 I bought a fucking Wednesday Adam t-shirt, and because in 1996 I played Super Nintendo Addams Family game for 15 minutes. Unlike every other video game, 250,000 different video games I played all the way from start to finish, like I just played a new arcade game I never played yesterday, start to finish. Fucking I never really got to I think maybe from their point of view, you see the ants are telling you have to, the Roman ants are telling you have to accept whatever comes into your life. See, what they're not telling you is it's whatever they force into your life and bring into your life. Okay, so when the Romans, simple as pie. Pie is not simple. Cooking is not simple. It's as simple as breathing. Yeah, you get the idea. Anyway, so 300 years ago, someone, not the Romans, obviously, it was Chris Columbus with a Roman Bible instead. That was 500 years ago. Came here and it was like, hey, that's a nice house. I'm glad you built it for me. And they're like, nah, what? Like, that's a hot wife you got. Ooh, I'm glad you got her. I'm glad she wants to date me. And they're like, what? And then the wife is like hiding behind the man and shit. And he's like, nah, I gotta date her, man. She's hot. And like, why? Why don't you want her to date me? And then they're like, get off our land. Stop talking to us. Go home. And then Chris Columbus is like, no, man, this is my land now. And that's my home. Fucking, why are you living on my land? And that woman, she needs to learn some pity and some mercy, and get rid of that ego she's got. Because whatever it is she has against me, we can work through it through marriage counseling or something. Like, that is my wife now, and I don't. She's just throwing a fit because she's mad right now. She's having a bad day, and that's my wife, and that's the equivalent of what they do here. It really is. I mean, they're forcing their way in. You should travel with me when I go outside. Hey, you'll literally see one person bringing another person to me sometimes. It's like a puppet show. Literally, bro. Puppet show. Can't make this shit up. Fucking, it's happened several times. And it's like, but these are the Sauron's hordes from Middle-earth. The not Sauron hordes, who look exactly like Golem and shit and Sauron's hordes, right? Fucking, the not Romans from Rome. The not pharaohs, the richest people in the world, who were actually, there are slaves, which they can be our slaves. They can be our slaves, I'll tell you that much. If you just don't participate, someone's going to have to do everything. And either they'll end up fucked up dying of AIDS on the street, or they'll have to do everything. We can, but anyways, that's a little off topic there. Anyways, the not pharaohs, the not leaders of, just like Donald Trump, he's a victim. He's an eternal victim. He's been victimized his whole fucking life. He was forced to date Melania. He was forced to, etc. He'll have all those excuses if you come on those people with the question. They always have the same excuses. That's why we see it, and when we have the conversation, we skip the conversation and we go straight to the talking points that skip those, and then they'll be like, because you just skipped 19 fucking steps in their fucking curriculum of brainwashing, and then they don't know how to deal with that. You skipped every step in the curriculum of brainwashing, and they just, that's the answer to, like, they'd be normally like, well, my boyfriend's calling me, I gotta go, something like that. But you just skipped 18 steps, and they can't figure out how the fuck you skipped 18 steps, and they're thinking about, they got those pre-programmed fucking dialogue in them and shit to say all those 18 sentences that you just skipped right the fuck over and shit. Anyway, so, combine all this propaganda shit. Fucking combine all the activity and all that shit. And I see in my personal life, like, it's offensive. Like, they bring someone into my life who I'm like, yeah, why are you here? Like, I'm busy in my life right now, first of all. I'm busy. And second of all, you're a goth. So, yeah. We're not going to get along. And the person doesn't like me because I'm not a goth too, right? So that becomes a problem. And then later in life, they try to push that my way. But I notice it's huge on TV, so they're pushing it on everyone, right? So this means, like, their agenda, right? And I was handed some pamphlets when I was younger what their agenda really is. They pass them out trying to get you to join a group, so you separate yourself from everyone else and are against the whole group, and you don't even notice that the leaders of the group are the people you're supposed to be against, and then they're like, oh, it's someone else, and then that's how they do that shit. Fucking,
There's always someone else, fucking, isn't it? There's always someone else out there fucking punching in the face. It's not their minions who wrote it on the internet. On the Google fucking Google employee access only servers, fucking Google high up and access, limited access fucking servers. There's always someone else. That's the whole story. That's the whole point of this terror book. Is to always blame someone else. To always blame invisible goats and shit for what they do, and it's always someone else. Oh, they're not Romans. It's called the Roman Catholic Bible. Micro machine. Why is it called the Roman Bible? Why is it called the Roman? Why is it called? Fucking. That's what it's like. I think you guys all know that too, and we just like talk to him and give him money because we're scared. That's the point of killing everyone in the Middle East who won't worship them. That's the point of killing all the Native Americans who won't worship them. That's the point of going to Mexico City and killing 200,000 people and building a church on top of all the corpses. That's the point of them building hundreds of thousands of churches in Europe when they crusaded their way through there and killed the Europeans and built the churches on top of their corpses and shit. That's the point of it. That's probably what's under the pyramid. I bet you there's a good chance that what's under that pyramid is those pyramids is large fucking masses of bodies of the native population of Egypt. A good chance because once we hit so far north, I mean Mexico City is like only slightly north and Egypt's a little bit south of the equator there. So once we hit that level, pretty much we can find temples purposely built on top of corpses of natives they've replaced. Or in Chris Columbus' case, he just killed people for fun and left. So in Mexico, that's why they don't all look like Spanish people do now. Fucking. Because they just killed people and left and stole their shit. Fucking. And built like a monument to mass fucking slaughter on top of that fucking. But as well known, it should be right. It's not really talked about, is it? Fucking, but it should be. I mean, I think everyone I know who claims to be part of one of those groups has mentioned something about that, and I heard it in some music, and then that musician magically died when he was like 36 and shit, real famous, Quorthon from Bathory. Fucking, the only black metal that didn't sound like annoying fucking noise and sounded like real music you'd fucking listen to back then and shit. Some of the only. And, yeah, I guess Varg probably talked about that shit too, but I couldn't fucking understand. I didn't really listen to a lot. I like Bathory. Fucking knows about it back then. Fucking, but I know he talked about it and he magically dies and shit. So that's called cultural appropriation, right? You see how killing everyone and building a monument and pissing on them gets changed into a different term called cultural appropriation, because that's the point of these words, of this Bible and these priests, these pharaohs and shit. They're writing words to change it. Pedophilia and homosexuality is not called circumcision. But it is, isn't it? And it's great, too. They want you to change the words. See, so you must admit, you allow pedophilia and child mutilation to go on across the street every day because it's great. It's great, isn't it? It's great for the nation. It's great for the economy. And great people do it because they have suits, so you know they're great. And they went to school. Oh, they must be so smart because they went to school. They're so smart. Everyone who went to school is a fucking genius. Oh, they're so great. They got suits and they went to school and they circumcised children for God. Oh, it's so great people, the best people, and they sell medication, not drugs. And then they go and use that money they get from selling that medication to kill evil drug people like Pablo Escobar and invade their nations and steal their oil and shit like that. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, you gotta realize everything with one of their symbols on it, that money's going to Israel and shit. That's going to nuclear missiles. I mean, science itself, Einstein, science, school itself, that religion is the one who is building fucking nuclear missiles and shit. So, you know, right, no. So, yeah. See, the thing is all these things are simple. You see them, you hear the words, and you know what it is. You can tell when someone's posting up out in front of a store that they know people don't want them talking to them, and they're preying upon poor people. I think that's a general thing you would know. But that's what sells. That's why you can buy this sign that says no solicitors, because if those people come to your house, they used to come to your house and people didn't want that so much that they started making a sign for it. You know, there's a beware the dog sign, there's an address sign with your address right now, 1234 Fake Street. And then at the street corner, there's a sign that has a street named Fake Street on it, so people know it's Fake Street when they drive by it and can turn on it. And then there's a stop sign there, so you don't run through the fucking intersection and hit the people going the other way, right? And then there's a crosswalk sign if there's people crossing. Sometimes, not always, because signs are so limited and not needed that you don't even always, most of the time, you don't even have a crosswalk sign because pedestrians just aren't even worth the cost of a crosswalk sign. But there is no solicitor signs and shit. Fucking no solicitor. And what is it? The government uses their religion to do that, and then the government is out there selling garbage phones and the technology they're buying off Temu, fake iPhone, $100, $10 each, and then they sell it to people, homeless and poor people on the streets for $90. And they don't care. They target homeless people with that shit. Fucking, they be like, oh, this is really good. You're gonna need this, and then it don't even work and shit because it's a fake phone. Fucking, they do that, and that's it's a judicial system. It's a Bible-ishal system. Fucking, it's the same people, salesmen, solicitors, got that from there and shit. It's just an expansion on selling mindless garbage. Getting free money and shit. And whenever something's linked together, that means it's the same thing. Don't let a scam artist tell you differently. You'll notice only scam artists will try to tell you that that's incorrect when you see links. And you are like, why are those linked? Fucking, because only the person profiting off the scam or the manipulation would try to separate an obvious link and shit. Why is my finger linked to my hand? I don't know, man. Take some LSD, man, and you'll feel better. It's really not, man. There is no finger. I know Kung Fu. There is no finger. Fucking, yeah, there'll be no brain if you start taking all that drugs. But I'll tell you, it's one of the only ways to put up with their shit over these years. But unfortunately, it's also you're gonna be hostile if you don't take it. But if you do take it, they can prey upon you a lot easier. That's the point of it. That's the point of them running the drug cartel is so you have to go to them, and then they can tell you all about it while you're high on drugs and shit, and get all the profits and send it off to nuke Israel or Palestine. My bad, we're not nuking Israel, are we? Unfortunately. Fucking. So the goth thing. Anyways, the point is, you combine all that shit. You take the cultural appropriation, right? Like the Khazars culturally appropriated the fucking Ukrainians along, 700, 800, 1300 years ago. And then it's highly likely when the Visigoths collapsed Rome, Rome was already aware it was collapsing. They were already selling out and changing their religion to the Bible. That's why they changed it, because they were encompassing it and taking it on because no one wanted Rome anymore. And there's a history, you can look it up. There's names for it. I got it here on the phone. A lot of information I have to re-go through and shit. Maybe one day I'll make another professional documentary and go through all that stuff. But there's actual names for every little manipulation I've been discussing. And they're generally names that the government invented, which was the religion at the same time. Government and religion were invented at the same time. Fucking 4,000 years ago, they invented changing words. They invented changing dates from the year 1700. Now Rome is new and clean. So it's the year 0 AD. The governments did that, okay? The religio governments do that to manipulate people. Now, why would they incorporate their newest religion if it wasn't involved in the manipulation? There was no reason to change time. But there was always a reason, and they were always changing. They were changing the names of months and stuff, and the number of days in months to cancel void your warranty, void your mortgage, void your land ownership, void your animal ownership, void any debt they owed you. Probably was a huge thing. Didn't hear about it, but I imagine it's hard to get the government to owe you debt. The government owes me a lot of debt. I'll be waiting for that, right? I'm just gonna go in there and I'm gonna go on a hunger strike for 10 million years waiting for that one, right? Shit, bro. There ain't even enough money in fucking 18 universes right now. That fucking interest rate was fucking sky high. You shouldn't have signed up for that shit, dipshit. They know they can't pay it. That's why they took the loan out, knowing they can't pay it, because they feel they can just take the fucking loan out. And they can take the money from me and the blood and the life from me because they're superior, racist, Nazi, Middle Earth, Sauron assholes. They're fucking grade A fucking garbage juice. And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the propaganda and the pressure coming from grade A fucking garbage juice. And by grade A, I mean the sewers, to AIDS and herpes and everything. If it's garbage juice, it's got to be great juice to be the best garbage juice, right? Fucking seems like a huge fucking program I've been forced into here, and I fucking hate all these bastards. I fucking hate each and every one, and I remember their faces clearly. If I catch them in another nation when I go there, they won't be fucking ever seen again and shit. I'll tell you that much. Fucking, they'll be lucky. I dealt with problems down there, though. They got people down there, but not enough and shit. They like their little cushy golden palace nation and shit where they can feel safe and train everyone to be their little feet licker cucks and have sex with them and shit. Be their little bitches. Be their bitches. Fucking, see, you can't let them tell you not to talk about what's going on and using their little vagina words. Vaginas shouldn't even be allowed to talk. What are they going to offer to the conversation? I want a Porsche. Okay, everyone knows you want a fucking Porsche. Go suck some dick and get it. Stop fucking talking about it and get to work. What the fuck's a vagina? You're gonna be tortured forever if you say something bad about us. It's like, hey, after I die, or you're gonna keep torturing me while I'm alive. You gonna keep locking me in the room with gay people and trying to force me to hear bad and learn bad fucking music shit I don't want to do? Fucking, you gonna force me into. And I get the idea that that might be part of trying to force me into and towards that culture and shit. When I'm like 8, so it's like church related. If I'm not sure how the clones operate, but I can tell you the Wi-Fi network is a network, and it's not separate ideas. There's no 10 trillion ideas on the planet. It all was boiling down to hearing everything on repeat. I went to other motherfuckers 2,000 miles away, and they would continue conversations. Literally scary. It'd be scary if they didn't already fucking stab and beat the fucking scare out of me when I was a child and shit. And use fucking dreams somehow to fucking do it. It was mainly the dreams, I think. And I'm pretty sure mind control, clones. What else can they? Earthquakes in Venezuela. What else can they do with those? Dreams should be fucking pretty easy and shit. And they're telling you that too about the Wi-Fi communications. Like Alex Jones is one of them. He sells Bibles and steroids and everything. And he invades the Capitol in a TV show made to get all the people on his list taken to jail and who subscribed to him invaded and taken to jail. Fucking. And he's telling you what his family's doing, and he's talking about the wireless being that. So that might have something to do with it. And I kind of assume, hey, on the top of their pyramid, they have the AI, which I'm assuming has something to do with why they seem like bots and why they have clones. And so that would have been 6,000 years ago that they have AI technology bringing clones to Earth and shit. Probably. Fucking. So, yeah. Dreams should be pretty fucking easy. And I definitely assume that there was 3 events in my life when I was little designed to beat the fucking scare out of me so I don't get scared. But I understand, like, what's that called? Threat? I don't really consider shit a threat either, because it's like, well, if it's allowed to exist, it's not done shit to me. Well, and maybe the point is to force you to be alive, because they can't milk you if you're dead. It does. Obviously, the Romans have a huge thing on forcing people to be alive. That's hospitals, and the Bible says invisible people say don't kill yourself. And what it is they're inventing invisible people and invisible goats and shit. And they're the ones who don't want, they're culturally appropriating you. They're coming up to you and they're like, you either date me or else. Fucking, you're an evil devil and we're gonna torture you and stalk you. And there's a lot of shit. Man, imagine how I assume that coming home from who was supposed to be my best friend at the time, which I wouldn't consider it that way, considering how it started. It sounded more like violent threats that if I'm not their friend, I'm going to pay big time for it. I assume that person would have had to call someone to schedule the person who looks like them to come try to kill me and kill himself in the process, to set up my whole fucking life, to eventually bring one of their people in who is my ex to try to have me have sex with her brother. And a long event there, and no plausible deniability allowed. After 2020, no, we're not playing these little homosexual games. We're not playing these word games. I don't give a shit what someone says. First of all, if you're talking, you're fucking lying. That seems to be the human condition. So I don't want to hear any of this shit. They're wasting my fucking time. We're all wasting time talking about new dumb shit. And we got these problems from 6,000 years ago. These assholes are wasting my fucking time talking about. Oh, and the one motherfucker bringing the goth fucker around, they named their dog Anubis. So, Pharaoh. Loves that Egypt and shit. Loves that enslavement in Egypt. Fucking, that couldn't be a coincidence. That was one of the two Trump clones. The one poisoned me, the one brought the goth around the second time, and the third one is Trump. And then there was a fourth one too. And they're all pretty much the same person, but slightly different looking and acting. But I mean, the one shows up out of nowhere on the West Coast after his friends poison me and shit, and acts like he's my brand new friend and give me a place to stay because his friends just kicked me out for made up fucking reasons because they just poisoned me and they didn't want me fucking stabbing the motherfucker probably. I mean, I got a lot better plans for those people than stabbing them. I'm thinking of a human-sized deli meat slicer that can get wafer thin cuts and shit. That's what I'm thinking. And I was thinking of the tree, tree shredder, but you know what? You can get a lot more. You can turn it into eternity with a razor thin deli slicer. And see, you gotta use your brain. You gotta come up with good ideas. Fucking. What else are we gonna do? Go and let them poison us again? Or are we going to feed the animals with them? What the hell? Save the animals. See what the fuck I'm saying? There we go. So I'm getting good at this fucking religious talk here. Save the animals. Animals are starving. Plenty of them out there. Got fucking meat on their bones. Animals are starving. Meat on the bones. Save the fucking animals. Fucking for real. The good animals. Save the tigers. The lions. And the giraffes. They only eat plants. Fucking, yeah, you see what I'm dealing with. Like, my whole life, this has all been set up by some sort of NPC alien horde. And it looks like the whole point of the story is everything I thought it was the day I was born, plus that little bit of knowledge that they're trying to beat me from learning about how they're subhumans and they aren't my species, and trying to make up excuses for why they're so stupid and they don't seem like living beings in order to terrorize, rob, and enslave. And I got some news for them. It sure feels like if I didn't care, that I'd be the master here. It sure feels that way. But they do all these guilt trips during the whole process and shit to make me feel like shit. And it's like, I probably shouldn't feel like shit if I'm not shit. But, people make other people feel like shit are shit. Maybe they should be feeling like shit. But you see how the reversey language works. You say it first. You come up to someone and you're like, you're the devil. Give your soul to Jesus and all your money to me. Okay? Is that a good idea? Does that work? Does that work for you? Instead of, if you come up to someone and just start talking to them, you're like, well, are you a good person or a bad person? I mean, come on, that person's about to boil you in fucking water either way, but there's no reason to even do that shit. Walk up to strangers on the street and see shit like that. Fucking, I can tell you fucking, there's no reason to rape children and say it's for invisible people who control your brain, but you're a living being, but you is real. Fucking, you're not a robot. You can control all yourself, but you must do it for invisible people. Isn't that all you fucking hear?
after the first couple sentences, because you get the whole fucking story and shit in the first sentence. They're like, and you're like, hey, you need money, and then they'll be like, well, this will be 30 minutes before they ask for money, so what do I gotta do today? And they're like, micro machines, blah, 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 small, fast, micro, and you're like, huh, did I leave the stove on? I wonder if they know I'm thinking about that. Oh, hopefully they don't know I'm thinking about leaving the stove on. I gotta go check that stove though. Like, that's fucked up. My house could be burning down, and they're taking my time, but they might kill me if I say something. Fucking, who knows? Fucking, I gotta go shower. That was the point of me being all sweaty and stuff, and I was cleaning my pores out. I should be showering. Oh, well, I guess my skin isn't of value, so that's not gonna get washed today. Huh. Well, what do we gotta do tomorrow then? Today's all bucked. Huh. Huh. And you pay attention, it's all about gun and killing people and shit. I mean, literally, if you're a kid, you're gonna go to military training. That's what Boy Scouts is. You ever question why they don't improve the flavor of their cookies and they sell these hard, cold cookies? But supposedly they're girls, and what they should be doing if they're teaching them anything of value is learning how to cook, but they're not. Instead, they're doing that pyramid scheme where you go to Temu and you buy yourself some 10-cent cookies and get them shipped over from Asia, and then you sell them 7,000 times the buying price, and it's just pure profit. That alone right there seems like that's always pretty scammy, right? My school did shit like that too. One year they had good quality shit, and it was like a slight uptick, but it was super expensive because it was quality shit. But the bars were like, they sold like bars. I think chocolate bars were probably like 45 cents back then. The chocolate, if you bought the chocolate bar instead of the super expensive shit, fucking, it was like $2.50 for the chocolate bar, and it's like, well, you know they're paying 10 cents for that fucking bar, and it's like, I mean, you're the scammer, right? They're using the kids to be scammers for them and shit. They don't have the fucking gall to go do it themselves, and they're too fucking lazy. But they're using kids to do it. That's what the point of Boy Scouts is to have all the children go kill the Africans. That's the entire point of building it. So think about that next time you see them selling them hard fucking overpriced cookies. Now think about that. If they're women and they're teaching them some of value, they'd be teaching them how to cook at least, or how to make rockets, and they'd be flying off selling cookies to Martians on Mars up in heaven. But they don't. And it really only takes that. You see how easy you can see these things? You're like, oh man, this is like a 50-cent pack of cookies. I'm just going to throw it away after I buy it. Like, you're actually destroying the environment by selling this because I'm throwing this away. I'm going to go home and bake some, or go to the bakery and get a real big, get a Krispy Kreme or something. Go to McDonald's, get an apple pie or an ice cream. Fucking, I'm definitely not going to eat this. Fucking, it's like, but you give them the money, right? Because they're out there, they're posted up in front of, like a crackhead, in front of an establishment and shit to catch everyone with money and shit. Because they know if they post up anywhere else, they ain't going to be catching as many people. It's about income and revenue. There's a lot of thought put into this shit. A lot of thought. That's why your crackheads will stand on the busiest corners, because they're professional crackheads. They're professional beggars. They've got it figured out where all the money comes from and shit. Where they can get their money the fastest and shit. And anyway, so think about that when you see them fucking. Of course, the Girl Scouts can't go fucking invade Africa, but where's the money going? It's going to Elon Musk in Israel, isn't it? Isn't it? Every time you buy, think about that next time you buy some Girl Scout cookies. if I hear any of you whine about Elon Musk being rich or anyone being richer than you, just shut the fuck up for real. Because no, no, you're the cause of it. You're the cause of it. You're fucking. It's easy to see, but you know, like they're guilt tripping you and shit. That's the whole point of it. That's all. It's a Roman soft kill invasion and shit. Fucking, it's all mind control. It's all mind control. The first 2,000 years of them on the planet, when they fucking invaded Egypt, and fucking, it was brutal slavery. And they slowly inserted mind control and worked out the kinks. And then they got fucking killed in Rome. Well, some of them got killed in Rome because the world got fucking tired of them. And then they renamed. They're like, well, what can we do? They hate us. Well, let's change the date and say the history didn't exist and all that shit. And then people are like, oh my God, it's year zero. Nothing ever happened yesterday. Like, yesterday is not real. I know Kung Fu. Oh, the spoon is not real. Yesterday is not real. Yeah. Yeah. The Bible is real now, though. The Bible is real, though. And Rome is not Rome anymore. It's Italy. It's Italy. Oh. 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 It's a... And then the mind control has, the renaming the history, the dates from 16,000, the year 16,000 to zero. That's just like when Rat Face Orwell puts out 1984, which they're already doing because they already had clones in their AI god 6,000 years ago. Fucking, they already had that shit 6,000 years ago. Yeah, if Earth actually existed then, but let's play along. Yeah, it did. Okay, so they had it. They got it on the dollar bill. That's why they have it. That's why they're forced to name technology that can recreate humanity AI. Fucking, because their god's been AI for centuries, or at least 40 years, however long they've actually existed. That explains why it creates so much slop. Yeah. That is why. That's why it all sounds so stupid. You can see right through it because it's just slop. It's just blowing out hot air. AI blowing out fucking hot air repeatedly and shit. It seems to be all it is here because it sure mirrors AI, right? Fucking the slop being created. Slop coming out their mouths, their dialogue, their books, much of their movies. Fucking, at this point, we got Spider Noir. It's like 10 million fucking Spider-Men now. Fucking, crazy. Fucking. I seen some shit it made a movie of, supposedly. I seen the movie thing. I think was what I just asked an AI to invent, because I was asking AI to invent stuff on its own. See where it goes. It was pretty dumb. It was having a hard time even with me directing it, coming up with something. I was like, can you stop using that same damn image? I was like, the whole point here is stop using that image. We're on to a new topic now. Fucking, it's still included it. It's like, oh my, what the fuck is this? Anyways, so it seems like the goth thing is some sort of agenda. And I noticed in my life they forced something like recently, like, oh, you're over the goth thing. You know, a video like, we're over the goth thing. It's like, well, we were never in the goth thing. There's a good Cure song. And I found some other good song last week. So out of the 250,000 songs I've listened to, and 10,000 I keep on my MP3 player, I would say there's 0 goth songs on the MP3 player. And then there's 2 I listen to on the whole thing. Out of the
It's a very confusing thing when you're a person trying to go somewhere in life and you have a society forcing low-level Sauron barbarian shit into your life, and taking away everything you possibility. Like the Christians, my family, their goal was to prevent the children that they probably gained through raping the natives, which technically that's their story, is they were part native. And I was always like, I wonder how that happened. Oh, but looking like an alien, I kind of assume someone might be lying, just like they're lying about being an American, that they're lying about, you know, fucking the other part of American, where that might be. But you got to cover that all in lies, you know. That's the point of a race in history and naming it zero, and the Romans creating the Bible is because the new Bible and shit, and then saying they aren't the other people. Yeah, Woo, fuck, dude. Why do I? This is all that's been happening on Earth, though. This is like all there is. There's nothing else. What are you, a slave? What are you, fucking? Clean the floor every now and then and cook some food. It's stupid. Why am I cleaning the floor and feeding myself so I can hear this shit? Fucking play the Addams Family song. I can't. Why would I want to? I don't even like piano. It's simple. It's basic. It's for fucking losers. It's like the most basic instrument out there. Fucking everyone picks up a keyboard and can play it. It's like a joke in musician land to play a keyboard. That's why bands don't even have a keyboardist and they just play the background because they're like, he's not doing anything. Fucking. So there's no point in hiring that person and shit. It's just it's like that cat playing the keyboard video. You can hire a cat to do that shit. And you actually get a lot more fucking people attending your concerts too if you hired a cat playing a keyboard. Fucking God, if you get that, give me a free ticket. Fucking in the show, I'll come check it out. But you can. I mean, if you're not a musician, let me let you in on a secret. We think that's for non-musicians. You know, like DJs don't consider themselves musicians because musicians don't consider them musicians, so they call themselves DJs. They're masters of ceremonies. They spin discs. Fucking some do a little more of their own work, and then that's that. But most of them don't even play live, so they're not really considered musicians. Fucking, and that's why they call themselves DJs, and it's not this famous musician or whatever. Fucking, I'd say that's a given right there. And so the keyboard thing, that's, once upon a time, 200 years ago, someone played keyboard, and it was crazy. His name was Beethoven, and that was the last time we heard of that. Fucking really. Maybe Dream Theater had a keyboardist, and that's literally it. Every other band you hear with keyboardists, don't even waste time on it because they don't consider it a real musician. They don't consider it like a real instrument. It's like, oh, it's a computer program. Press a button and it makes a noise type shit. It's a way different level. And pressing a button. I can press a button on my MP3 player and a bunch of cool notes are going to come out, bro. We're not insulting retards. We're telling retards what it is, and that's why DJs call themselves DJs. Anyway, so the whole thing, when something's designed to leave a bad fucking taste in your mouth, it's supposed to. When someone stabs you and rapes you, it's because you don't want that to happen, unless you do, and then you're going to learn something about yourself. Some people like that shit. Fucking feel free to enjoy what you want in life. Fucking, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to stab you. So don't come to me with that shit, because there's a chance someone's going to get all whiny baby about that if you die from it. So I don't like that stuff. Fucking, and I don't really like it in the first place. So I don't want to associate with anyone doing it because of the chance that they're going to die being choked or stabbed and they're fetish, and I don't want that. No. No. Fucking. Anyway, so the goth thing, they seem to really be promoted. Isn't that great? I'm wearing my fucking shirt here while I'm saying I'm not goth. Guess what, folks? I'm not. And goths would tell you that too. Fucking. When I go there, I don't feel like I fit in. But the point is, I go there because it's like an outcast place and shit. If I go anywhere. And then that's usually because I'm tired of touching grass, driving to the countryside, and seeing that I'm the only person dumb enough to go touch grass. And that, aren't I a dumbass? At least I get to speed to the streets, fucking, be alone. The only place you can't be alone is in your car going 80 miles per hour. Other than that, there'll be someone in a corner who runs up on you and be like, hey, have you heard the good word? The good word about McDonald's, $5 sale. I need $5 for McDonald's. You got $5? No. And do you got anything else? You got any diamonds? Any jewelry I can sell? No. $5 sale is pretty good for cheeseburger. Need it. As long as you're going, that won't happen and shit. As long as the foot's on the accelerator and it's a long road with no stop signs outside. Now, if you stop to touch grass, that's when someone's going to jump out of the woods and be like, now, no one's ever out there. Don't get confused. No one's out there touching grass. That's a lie. I went out there. I basically lived on a mountain in Washington, outside of the mountain, and it would wake up at 4 a.m. and then the only people going out there were a couple runners going at 6 a.m. jog, and they weren't there to fucking ask me for $5. They mostly just stopped to say hi if they stretched or didn't. Fucking, and then the whole mountain was mine the majority of the day and all of the frickin' night. It was definitely pitch black and nothing there at night. So there's not every place I stopped to touch grass, except for a pier or two. Even the piers were kind of empty. The beaches not so much, obviously, but there's no grass on the beaches now, is there? Fucking. Every place I stopped to touch grass was pretty much empty and shit. Even some of the skate parks I stopped at were pretty fucking empty. Yeah. Anyways, off topic, but I'm just saying, what do you do? What do you do? I can tell there's setups going on here, and I don't like none of it. I haven't liked it since I was a kid, and I'm a problem because this is my life here. My life is I'm a problem because someone else wants me for something. To raise their kids or something. Fucking to be their emotional crutch, Karen's emotional crutch. I'm not sure exactly, but I can tell by the program. And it's definitely a program, not a program. They invented that word and named them the two same things for the same fucking reason. The school program. What's the school program? Well, the school program was a program to get rid of Pablo Escobar and competing drug dealers while they were selling me drugs. That was the school program. And then the other year, I remember one time the school program was the school program to take donations to go kill the Middle Easterners for the judicial system and the churches and all that shit. You know, those buildings on every corner everywhere in the fucking world. Um, so program and program, it's jokes to these people. Raping your dog, raping your child, mutilating your child. That's not even a joke. It's great. You know what I'm saying? It probably is funny if you like that stuff. Um, but it's great. People are getting rich off that. You know, doctors are living in mansions. They're fucking doing burnouts in their Ferraris because they're chopping off little kids' dicks for Jesus. And of course, that's not true because we've never even met this Jesus person. And it looks more like the Pope's getting all the money and not in the government and Donald Trump and not this. I guess Jesus is in space and he probably has a bunch of fucking gold castles up there. Other than that, the money's not going to him, and it's going to bombs in the Middle East and shit. Yeah, probably. I mean, like I said, you know, it was a program at church for me to go learn about how great these people are and how great accepting I must be. So as uncomfortable as I feel in some of the situations they force me in, that I must accept it because it's who they really are and working their way in. That's what it appears more like. Fucking yeah. The program was to go to camp and learn all this military stuff, medical, shooting, living outside, you know, everything a military person does. Sewing in case you rip your fucking fatigues, you know, all that shit fucking. And what it is it was created as a program. But they call it a program now. You see, it's not the same, is it? But it was created as a program to go invade Africa, to have children. It wasn't not just your standard program. It was have the children, the 6-year-olds and 8-year-olds and 12-year-olds, go do the killing and enslaving for you because you can't get it done and you need children to help you. Fucking. It's a program, though, not a program. Hey, get your words right, because we've changed the words and it means something different and shit. Isn't it amazing how facts make you feel better about about yourself, but they also make the world seem like a scarier place because you're no longer deluding yourself with a bunch of lies and bullshit. That's what happens to me anyways. It's like, I've always known, but being ignorant and ignoring things and going along feels safer, you know? But at the same time, these programs can exist without treating you like you're a totally mentally retarded idiot and everything you see and know is a lie and you must be taught more because you're ignorant and evil and you don't know what's really going on and you're not a good enough slave and you must date whoever they send your way because invisible people said so, not because invaders raping all the natives said so. Definitely not. That's definitely not. You know, once you clear your head of that, you're like, oh shit. It's weird for me because it's like I've had this subconscious activity, external activity that prevents any of those things from working. Like I get moved every 7 months, so nothing can set in. No one can stay around me long. no one can start running a program on me and shit. And then I get separated at school. Last year I go to school, the advanced classes with 6 people in them, and the first year I get separated, over here by myself and shit. And without that, I'd probably be more sucked into the program and shit. But being able to sit back there, while I'm reading my books and study what the other kids are doing and shit, and what the teacher's doing with them, that kind of allowed me to even see more rather than just not be programized and shit. Fucking. But I get the idea that the reason for them promoting that shit so much has to do with the fact that it's religious. So it's religious. That's where the word comes from. So if you wonder if you've whatever, it's a religious term. That's why they advertise it. Everything they put in my feed here, like one 1/3 of the world that they're forcing on people is different religions. Oh, you don't like this religion? Here's Neo. Hey, you don't like that? Yeah, well, here's a guy telling you to take acid and fry your brain. Oh, you don't like that? Here's the mushrooms. Oh, you don't like that? Here's the elephant. Oh, look, it's Lord of the Rings. It's definitely not plagiarized religion. Oh, look, it's Dune. It's definitely not plagiarized religion. Oh, look at Scooby-Doo. It's definitely not making... Scooby-Doo is not making fun of religion at all. Hey, I made that connection. I wasn't even asking it to do that. I was just asking about something it did. And AI is like, you are correct to link those. It's like, I hadn't linked them yet, but thanks for doing it, buddy. Fucking. It's like, oh, who's behind the bird mask and shit? Who's behind the gold palace? Fucking all that shit. Fucking who's behind the goth program? Fucking who's behind all that shit? Who's behind the Neo program? Who's behind the New Age, all that New Age? I'm glad I can't remember all the names. All that New Age, all that Timothy Leary. Oh, well, he's dead now, isn't he? I guess that didn't work for him because he died. So he didn't figure out what's going on. I think maybe we should just base our lives on that. As long as someone's dead, then they haven't figured out what's going on. Because if someone's dead, then that means they didn't figure out how to stop that, which means they didn't figure out what's going on, or they wanted to die. It'd be one of the two things. Either they want to die, or they figured out what's going on, and now they're enjoying life forever, fucking. Because isn't that what they're selling us? To buy all the pills, eat all your food, eat your 7 meals a day, work out, go work, be a slave. Buy the Bible, buy the Quran, buy all those books, buy, shop, till you drop, fucking. I think the reason why they allowed that goth shit to get popular and promoted, and you gotta realize, I was introduced to that by the church long before they popularized it. I was at the church and they were teaching me how to play the Addams Family song, or trying to, and I wasn't interested in it. And, yeah, fucking, isn't that weird that I was taught about that first at a church, and then the religious nation of America and their media promotes that heavily I'm not sure how heavily it is for other people, but I know for me it seems to be promoted pretty heavily. And it's promoted in my life, like, before that, technically I met the one person on the internet, or both of them even. Fucking. But, yeah, that definitely clashes hard and shit. Fucking. You can tell they're setting shit up like that. And, they got all these things, like when it comes to setting up your relationship, of course, the Middle Earth invaders have the old don't judge a book. Einstein has don't judge a book by its cover, because no one's going to date him. No one wants to talk to him and be around him. Did you see the woman he was with? He had to be with one of his own people because no one was going to. And you can judge a book by its cover. That dude's either an idiot or a psychopath or both. And it turns out to be he's a Zionist psychopath who nukes the planet and shit, right? So, thinks he's a genius, and there's no fucking proof he did anything. A bunch of AI generated bullshit, like these actors claiming they're generating their AI generated bullshit fucking movies. And again, who is it again? It's the isn't reallys. The Pinocchios trying to claim they are real people with their book of hatred. Well, we didn't have to bring that into this discussion, did we? But I think that's the root for me, is all this shit all along has been Pinocchio trying to teach me he's a living being. And I don't think he is a living being. I think it's a toaster. I think it's a 1920s fucking toaster that my toaster over here does not fear at all, and probably has a little bit of a superiority complex in comparison to, because I've had these patterns worked out since the first time they spoke to me, and they haven't been able to change them for 40 fucking years. So I can reprogram my fucking toaster. Yeah, I fucking tell it to do something new every day and shit, pretty much. Fucking you want to dance on one leg for the camera or something and bark for me? No, it doesn't do that. It has fucking, it doesn't do everything it's fucking told and shit. It's got some morals and values there. Fucking, apparently, we might assume, fucking, let's have a conversation with the toaster. We'll get just as far in life, won't we? I wish I would have fucking been able to just have conversations with toasters. Like, if I could have just sat there in a room and talked to a toaster all day, I think my life would be in a lot fucking better place. My mind would definitely be in a lot better place and shit. That's like the goal, and they want you to do that. Like Buddha, they want you to sit down and do nothing if you're smart and capable of seeing anything. And once you get to those levels, that's when the frying your brain with drugs really comes in. That's why they drugged me when I'm a child, because I'm like, yeah, I think you're trash. You're like illiterate, retarded sons of bitches. And you have no right speaking to an adult, no matter the size of my body, yet alone speaking to an adult like you're an adult. And they didn't like that shit when I was a kid. But, you know what? The odd thing is I think the comparison is easy to make now that I'm in a big enough body. Fucking to be like, look, we're the same size, so I'm an adult. Is this really an adult, or is this a kid in an adult costume? I think these days we can probably pull off some of that shit. Just take me down there to the government office and set me beside him, and we'll find out. Are they children in Five Nights at Freddy adult suits or something? What's wrong with them? I don't know. But I know the answer. I know many possible answers. And I'm not bad at getting things done. I've never failed a test that I remember. Fucking usually get it all right. Fucking so on. Make sure, before I attempt something, that we get it done right.
Fucking sometimes I get a little mistake the first time, a little hair missing. It's like, oh, look, there's a hair. You didn't burn it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Let it, the wind god carry it away. Let the bird god carry it away. Peace be with the bird god. Fucking. Yeah, I think we know who that bird god is, though. I think it's the Pope and your local preachers and shit. I think it'd be the same people. Of course, I'm wrong, right? I'm wrong about everything except for when I take a test at school, and then I'm right about everything. This is the weirdest shit I've ever heard. A person who goes to school and is right about every fucking thing on every fucking test they've ever taken. And so right, they get 110%. And if you've never done that, you're asking, how do you do that? Go ask someone else and you'll find out. You're already questioning me. Go ask someone else if you won't take my word for it. But I'm wrong about everything else on the planet. I'm right about everything on tests, but I'm wrong about everything not on a test. I should make a religious test. That's a good idea. Go around passing that out. Force the schools to do it, and then the schools will be like, yeah, we gotta sell drugs to children, rape them, and train them to go kill people. Fucking. Yeah. Yeah, fucking, the good thing is I got the paperwork to back up what I say, fucking, and that includes documenting the last 20 fucking years of my life, for the majority of it, having people break my cameras and shit, fucking stuff like that, getting a little jealous of that shit. Got most of the shit documented. I wish I could have that early shit documented, though, where I was like, there's probably people out there questioning, like, did they really do that stuff at church? It's like, yeah, I'd love to have got that boy on camera saying that shit, and those other people doing that other shit. I'd love to have that. And all you gotta do is go look up Boy Scouts to find out what that is about and shit. But all you really gotta do is hear one or two sentences, and you can feel the energy. You know the direction of the words. Like, you don't have to say words to exist. And the last thing you have to do is tell someone you're a good person. That's the last thing. No one has ever came up to me and told me they're a good person, except for a bad person who later fucking was causing problems. I don't know what's up with them, but they had their Bible too. Fucking. But they told me they were like, yeah, I used to be a bad person, but I'm a good person now. And it was just like that. It was like, yeah, I used to be a bad person, but I'm a good person now. It's like, yeah, well, I'm sure. So you don't have to do that. Have you ever done that? Have you ever went, I'm sure there's plenty of parents who say that to their kids. So ignore that, because I don't want to hurt your ego. And think of it every other time. Have you ever walked up to a stranger and been like, hey, I'm a good person? You ever walked up to a fucking, maybe a judge at the judicial system? You walked up and said that too. But you ever walked up to like a cashier at a store and been like, hey, I'm a good person? No. You never have, because you don't have to. That's not dialogue. That's programming. That's inserting thoughts into people's heads. Mind control. That's mind control 101 right there. And I mean, that's exactly what I thought when someone came up and said that shit to me. It's like, oh, it's you again, huh? This is going to be fun. I'm trapped in here with you. You guys forced me over here after you forced your people to sleep in my bed with me and forced your government to protect me. That's what we're dealing with here on this planet, in this city, in this nation. I think it's funny. It's like 95 out right now. Something's happening, It's 95 out, but they're blowing up Venezuela. with an earthquake and shit, which doesn't make me feel. You know, they're trying to. All these Hollywood stars, John Schaefer, Alex Jones, Trump, and Biden, are talking about setting up and staging the Bible and shit. Yeah, it looks real suspicious when that happens where I'm at, and then their enemies are fucking collapsed and shit. It's definitely not collapsing because it's 95. There's no earthquake swallowing the entire state. Fucking like over there in Venezuela. So it's like us like baby dick for something else. Baby dick shit for something else. Just, they like their baby dicks. Fucking. They like that little dick shit. Fucking little dick energy. That's what I compare it to when I see that. And it's always that way. It's always there's something happening over here, and then there's like Ukraine or Venezuela is being swallowed, China's being swallowed. It's like there's little dick energy over here, and there's like big dick energy over there, and then there's like little dick energy over here. Fucking. That's weird. Something's involved in all that, right? The whole forced interactions and then the ability to manipulate the weather and shit. Obviously, they got clones. They worship AI as their god. I would say that that's pretty possible that that's involved in this shit, you know. And then, anyway, so. Because all that shit ties together, fucking. And, yeah. I mean, they got the memo that what I like in life. And there are people all along the way have tried to enslave me. Starting with my family, who kicked the person out of my life who would have protected me from the situation. With force if necessary, and high chance, there's a high probability that person did get kicked out for using force to protect me and shit. Fucking, we don't know, and we won't know. We only got the words of liars. We only got half of the story and shit. Fucking, but I can tell you that following the goth program wouldn't have started. If I had a man around me, fucking, he wasn't into wasting time sending his child to be locked in a room with homosexuals at the church. He wasn't a big fan. He was hanging out with Epstein. I'm pretty sure he knew what fag hags do with their male children and shit. So he probably, but then again, that gives him plausible deniability to get the fuck out of the house too. So I don't necessarily not suspect fucking. Because kind of weird when you're silent when I question you on this shit. It's like an admission of guilt when I go up and I talk to people about this stuff and they're silent on it rather than just, you know, some other response. Like it's like they're going through their head searching for something else to say other than what pops into their head right away and shit. And it's an admission of guilt. It's Detective 101 right there, fucking. And it's weird, I get that. I get, just like these other forced memories going in third person camera mode, obviously I'm gonna remember leaving my body and listening to some people in my very first fucking full-length memory. Fucking, that was more like my fifth fucking, full length, I think. Yeah. Fucking first. Yeah, anyway, so everything's gonna be so great. And I mean, these hippies want me to fucking say dumb shit. They want me to, that's why they created, that's why this loser Mid-Earth trash created that Cartman thing. Where he insults hippies because they know eventually they're vagina terrorists, and you get the idea that the hippies are drug addicts, And what a drug addict is the people at the hospital. They're minions of the cross going around the planet, the Hebrews, forcing drugs on people. In my life, this has been like a steady pattern of them trying to force drugs on me, from my mom to the next person I met, et cetera, et cetera. And they were trying to force me out of the business when I was little, and there was some staging events there too. And now they control the business and shit. Yeah, trash is trash. And apparently trash is some genetics are narcissists and egomaniacs and trash. Whatever this genetic thing is, I think it might be software code. They call it code, you notice that? And they call it DNA code. That's because Pinocchio might understand that he worships AI God because he's a Pinocchio. Fucking, or at least Pinocchio's operator probably understands that much. Fucking, yeah, Geppetto knows that much, right? You know, that's just more AI regurgitation. The story of Pinocchio. See, there's nothing going on this planet. Neo is just more New Age regurgitation, which is just Bible regurgitation. Go listen to your other New Agers, and they'll tell you all about following the same religions. And yeah, the whole point of New Age religion is to get rid of the old ones, and then they take you back straight back to it and shit. Just like Satanism and science, and now they're working with flying reindeers to go to heaven. Fucking, to make rockets to go to heaven and shit. Fucking, but they're definitely getting rich. Fucking, I can't say for sure. I'm gonna go to Mars. In fact, I will say for sure that I haven't been to Mars yet. I'd be a dumbass to be like, well, you know, I haven't been able to say there's $1 million in my hand and it magically appears, and be like, but it's going to happen. Oh, there's $1 million in my hand. You see that? Oh, there's $1 million, man. You see that? Oh, Mars is in my hand. Oh, Mars is in my hand. Oh, but if I give someone a bunch of my money, then I'll have $1 million, man. Give someone all my money, Mars will be in my hand, right? Buy some of them hard-ass fucking stale cookies off them at fucking $20 bucks. Fucking, I can go fucking invade Africa. Fucking, look, and then I can make miracles happen. There's something happening, but it's bullshit. It's mostly bullshit, I'll tell you that. That's bullshit. They're fucking scumbags. I can see the purpose for some of the people around me saying shit like, you gotta date whoever comes. That's because they're fucking women who can't hold men down, and they're grooming people because no man wants to be around them. But there's also invaders. See, invaders want you to raise their children, like Elon Musk and Trump. They have you they have other people raising their children while they date this mail order prostitute. And they just shit out children all over the fucking globe. And I think that's the reason why he's selling a Bible telling you, accept whoever they force into your life and shit. And it's got to do with this goth thing, and I think the goth thing has to do, well, it is from the Visigoths, but I think the purpose of that is cultural appropriation when they pillaged Europe and converted them, and then used Europe to re-free Rome, and they combined there and begin Rome's pillaging again. Fucking, that's the most likely. The animal tracks are easy to see, you know. They're too stupid to cover up their tracks, or they're robots designed to leave the tracks on purpose for you to find. It's one of the two. And technically, I don't think they're that stupid. But robots are the dumbest thing on the fucking planet, so if they're robots, just definitely they are what they are. But it's one of the two reasons they leave their fucking bird tracks everywhere. You know, the bird god can't fly, so it's leaving its fucking little paw prints everywhere and shit. That was real easy to see too. Fucking, it was real easy to see, cause especially when the paw print is stamping on your fucking life, like Rat Boy Orwell talked about. His people know about a boot stamping on your face because that's what his people do. That's what his people have done. That's how they got to North America. Orwell knows all about a boot stamping on your face for life because Orwell stamped out the fucking natives of this nation and every other fucking nation he's been through. That's how the fucking... You can't have 1984 book written here unless someone stamped their boot on the face of someone. Fucking... That's the bottom line. You see, we don't have to go through 40 years of being around and listening to this useless drivel. It's very... The second these people talk, you're like, what are you doing on this land? You're coming up with all these stories about how great you are and shit, and how you're a good person, and you're so smart, and you gotta listen to you. And it's like, you don't even look like you belong on this land. What are you doing on this land? Why are we skipping over the original question? This is the question I had for him when I was a kid. What are you doing here? You don't look like you're from around North America. What are you doing here? This is the root of who they are as a person. This is where all their dialogue will flow from. And they're like, don't blame the sins of the father on the child rapist, on the children who are the rapists. Fucking, that's the point of the propaganda, is to be like, my micro machine, fast, smooth, slick micro machines. Fast, smooth, slick machine. Yeah, $5. $5. Yeah, $5 for micro machines? No, just $5 for nothing. You just wasted my time. I wasted your time listening to you? Yeah. Yeah, you wasted my time making me have to talk to you. Making me force you to talk to me. Yeah. 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 Like, you's a dumbass. I can't believe you're so rude and evil. I can't believe you would even question that. You know who questions things? Satan. Satan. Are you Satan? Are you working with Satan? Huh? 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 Better give me $5. If you're not, you'd give me $5. But Satan hoards all his money. I know you're homeless and poor and you ain't got, and you're fucking living on the streets and you can't even afford to eat as much as my family does. 3 fucking meals a day every day at the fucking most expensive restaurants fucking around town, McDonald's and beyond. Fucking, I know you ain't got no money, but you'd be Satan if you didn't give me $5, because I gotta go do something with it. Fucking, I already ate 10 meals today. I don't know if I'll be able to eat any more. Well, it's only 5. We can probably get 3 more fucking meals in. You better give me $15 instead of 5. Fucking 3 more meals, motherfucker. Satan. Why you bitch ass acting like that, Satan? You better give me some fucking money. I mean, you pretty much expect that to come out of some of these. I mean, obviously they're cowards, and they do the thing where they build buildings to mutilate and rape children in and protect them with Nazis and fucking, and fucking all that shit, fucking. Their drug squads, their goon squads, all their mercenaries they've hired from across the globe and shit. Fucking. Now, you know what? The fucked up thing is nothing I've said yet that I can recall is a lie. It's all I don't, the history shit. I'm reading that stuff, so it's the best I can get. But it makes sense. I remember I was 6 years old and I was like, why am I in military training at church? And I didn't have to ask that question. You know why? Because I already knew the answer. That's why. I didn't have to ask the question. I already heard the other words. The second I heard one word, one sentence, I was like, man, why do you need children so bad? And then I heard a little more and I was like, oh, you need some land. Oh, so it's a military organization that's preying upon children. How do you extract? Maybe it's because I'm really good with language, you know, A plus, winning awards from the president and shit. But I just know the language, you know. I really recommend not just fucking ignore them. Cut your eyes out, stab your ears and shit. Fucking, they'll be forced to take care of you for life. And I'll come by and smack them in the head and laugh at them for you. Don't worry. You know, get your address out there, and I'll come by and say hi to you and say hi to them. Fucking, but that's what I think of a lot. Fucking, that's why I wear glasses. Fucking. Also because Terminators probably scan your eyes and shit. I think my ex was teaching me that, to be honest. She worked in Hollywood with Trump, so I'm gonna take her word over yours. Her actions over your actions. She made it really far in life. Fucking. Never take the action of someone who hasn't been somewhere in life, in the words of them, because that means that their words took them nowhere. Unless their goal was to go nowhere, and then you might rethink it. But you know, I don't go to McDonald's and ask them how to build a rocket to go to Mars. I go to the science building and do that shit. Fucking. Not saying someone there couldn't, but good luck with that. Good luck with that one. Fucking. I also don't go to the science building asking them how to drop fries and make a hamburger. So, there's also that, you know. It goes both ways. Fucking. But I get the idea that maybe the reason they force this in people's lives is because of that. And it sounds cool and cute on the outside, like, oh, it's the people who overthrow Rome. It's the Germans. But you notice how much they hate the Germans and shit? So, and then in order to get to all these other countries, they would have had to get through those other countries somehow. You don't just teleport like on the Star Trek Enterprise from Sauron's base to North America. That's why they had to wait 2,000 years to just 18,000 years to get there, because they couldn't figure out how to invent a boat. They couldn't figure out there was materials that float on water, and you could use them to get in the water, stand on top of them, and move across the water on them for 18,000 years. They couldn't figure that out. There was a progression there. There has to be. Obviously, they didn't have the Star Trek Enterprise teleportation, and they just beamed themselves from Rome over or Egypt or Israel, wherever, over or Khazaria over to North America. So there's a long. You got to get to the shore there if you're going to take a boat too. You got to get to the shore somewhere, maybe up by UK or something. There happens to be an empire there. Fucking right before this one. Oh yeah, right before this one too. Fucking. There was Rome, and then there was this one larger thingy, and then there's the UK, and then there was the USA. It's like a trail. It's like
birdie footprints and shit in the dirt. It's like you can draw a line. It's not like a swirly line, like, oh, here it is, there it is, there, where's it at? It's like, and then there's a line going east too, where the Catholic version went. And I go, ooh, and then it stops, and it changes its name to Karl Marx, and then it goes to the shores. Then it gets to the shore. And those people had a history of saying no to that first part, a recorded history. So they just changed it. It's like, oh, it's not the Roman Catholic Pope, it's Karl Marx. And they're like, oh, I love Karl Marx, so great. And it's so great. We hate that Pope guy. Fucking, and then the line goes from Egypt up to Israel, up to Rome, and then it splits off the east that way. And then the other line goes from Rome up to Spain, up to over Spain, up to Germany, up to UK, and then over to the USA. And then, of course, from Spain, you have over to South America. And then Spain hit North America first, but they just looted it and left, supposedly. Fucking, that sounds really dumb. To be honest, I don't know about that. But I'm not saying people are geniuses either, right? Obviously. Fucking, I think there's something to this, and it's always felt pretty fucking hostile and shit, because it's like forced in my life, and I'm like, man, I'm always like, I wish there was something better to do in this life than this. And there is, supposedly. I see it on TV and I do it myself, by myself. Why do I get the feeling, though, like my family, along with everyone I met's been involved in setting my life up to fuck it over and hold me back and prevent me from being around anyone I like, which would disclude most of them. Why is that? I mean, I think this goth thing plays a huge role where I have forced memories of very hostile attacks on my life involving it. And again, let's look at this. It's not like it was like hot German Nazi bitches like, Squiggle D fucking Einstein had when I was 14 and I walked into his house, had fucking naked beaten men on his TV. It's not like it was like hot Nazi German bitches or some shit. So, it's like, so the goths aren't Germans at all. Is that what I'm saying? So there you go. That's odd. We got a little bit of support here, fucking, on that too, fucking, because if the goths they forced into my life aren't Germans, then that concludes that goes right with it, the idea that in order to get to North America, you would have had to colonize your way to North America. And yeah. Anyways, this is my life. Who cares? No one gives a shit if you're not making money off me. Fucking, that's no big fucking deal. No one ever gave a fucking shit. Everyone else would be trying to make their money off of it. Or whatever it was. It seems to be more about control. Like, I think maybe the money don't exist and maybe none of them are actually working and building the roads and it's all auto-generating themselves and it's just a sick fucking obsession with power and manipulation, rape and slavery and shit. I can tell it's like an underlying fucking thing here. Fucking, especially when I was a kid. Like, I was trying to get away from that trash. Fucking just backwards cave trash in their Bible. And I mean, they were everything these people would have to be in order to colonize their way to North America. Fucking, just, it's not they're stupid, it's they're intelligent at rape, murder, robbery, violence. It's not that a mosquito is stupid and useless. if you need something to suck someone's blood, it's fucking the best thing in the world. If you got an alien race enslaving the planet, stealing people's blood, fucking, then that is the most excellent engineering device ever, fucking, to do that and shit. You're trying to locate certain people to terminate. If you got Terminators on the planet trying to eliminate living beings, what's the best way they could fucking do that? Well, how are they going to find who's living if everyone looks living, but and they look living too? Well, besides Wi-Fi communication, what if that's not working properly or wasn't installed in them? Well, they could invent a mosquito to go around and figure out who has real people blood and who doesn't. So there's possible reasons for a mosquito to exist as well, fucking. And it does what it does excellent. That's the point. It does what it does perfectly. It's hard to fucking swat and shit. That's stupid enough to draw too much blood sometimes, but if you don't swat it in time, it gets away. Fucking. And, yeah. There's got to be some sort of purpose for developing this and developing their programs and shit and forcing people into them. I mean, I can tell there's like a huge thing to get me. There's always, if you don't like the church you're at who recruits children to invade other nations, then you can go to then you'll like the other church that recruits children to invade other nations. If you don't like the one church that doesn't talk about how they legalize pedophilia in their Bible and they should get rid of it and create a whole new religion to distance themselves from it, then you can go to another church who promotes a book that legalizes pedophilia and worships Nazi racist gods and fucking promotes their pedophilia and refuses to drop it and create an entirely new sect, right? And then you can go to another new one if you don't like that one. If you spend your life there, you spend 2 years there, and you find out you don't like them because they're doing the same thing the other one is, and then you can go to another one doing the same thing. And if you don't like that, you can become a Satanist and by the Bible. Oh. Is it me? Am I overthinking or? It can't be, right? Because it's like I hear him say one sentence and I'm like, wow, you're a fucking child predator. I'm not overthinking it. I'm like, wow, you're a fucking child predator. And wow, we're raising children to be or sending children to military camp to invade other nations and on stolen lands. We're building the camps to do it on stolen lands, and I mean, to me, that's all it is. Obviously, many of them aren't going to be many people aren't going to be starting their life with these in mind because a lot of them are like, oh my God, I love me and I love my family. And I was like, well, what if your family killed all the natives in the land you're on in order to live there? You got to make a decision right there when you're a baby and you fucking hear that. You make the decision, well, we're just going to move past that, or we're going to keep that in mind because somewhere my genetics kill people they don't like, or kill people who say no to them, or kill people who don't do everything they tell them to do, or kill people if they just have something they want and they won't let them have it, or kill people if they have something they want and they don't care if they let them have it, they just want to kill them. Okay. Somewhere along the line that question gets asked, probably when you're 2 or 4 or 6. No, for me it was 6. I heard these stories from these people, and they're like, we're gonna go kill all these people in the Middle East and go back home, and it's like, so this isn't your home? And like, Scooby-Dooby, man. Fucking amazing. It turns out to be it's way sicker than that. I mean, it's as sick as it is. It's just they're telling you it's not. Right? That's the point of the language. That's the point of them writing books, creating TV shows, creating music, creating anything. That's why they created language. They had slaves carving in pyramids how great they were. And then the first book they publish is how great they are, and they can never do any wrong, and you're fucking evil if you say anything about it, and you must date them, and you must accept them, and you must marry them, you must have their children, you must have sex with them, etc., 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 and they're going to rape their way into your nation. That's literally what the book says. Fucking. And that's acceptable to have buildings across the street that kidnap and drug people. Because you live on such a sick planet that no group has ever went and burned down or blown up these fucking buildings. I mean, that's because no one cares. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm saying you should get rid of the fucking people. I'm saying you should get rid of the people. Obviously, I don't give a shit. You want to come at me, you know these bitches, the next time they come at me, it's going to be 9/11 plus COVID plus N days. As far as I can tell. And I'm assuming that what happens here in the story is their dumbass little low IQ inbred selves do get the balls one day to make one last move, to take their final fucking breath and blow out that last bit of fucking hot air. Because so far I've gone to watch him fucking choke to death and cry while they're dying. My life is so hard. I'm a slave because I want to be a slave and you won't be my slave. Why would you be my slave and why am I the slave? Why do I want to be a slave and I don't get slaves? You see how stupid these fuckers, just like, what's going on? There's nothing because they're robots. They're NPC, aren't they? Fucking, there's nothing going on in their head. Could you imagine how stupid your thoughts would have to be to fucking do any of this shit? You would just have to, like that dumbass piece of trash. I guess they probably gave his family $100 million for trying to kill me. And knowing that he was going to die in the process, fucking... I guess they probably gave his little crackhead family $100 million for that, or they probably gave him 12 packs of past blue ribbon, and one they had already drank half the fucking beer from. Fucking crackheads. Their people will rip off their people. They'll rip off their own. It was probably promised to them by their grandpa, and their grandpa ripped off. Their grandpa's like, hey, you send little Joey to try to kill him, and he'll probably die, but we can fuck him up for that. And you send Joey to kill himself beside him, and then we'll get him on murder charges, and then I'll give you 12 packs of past blue ribbon. If you send your son to die to do that, because they should get rid of this asshole. And then, and then Grandpa drinks half the fucking 12 of cans, and then puts the empty cans back in the fucking little fucking 12-pack box, and tapes it shut and shit and gives it to him and shit, and he's like, you guys are stupid as fuck, here's your beer and shit. And they're crying, and they was calling everyone saying they was gonna kill people and crying and shit, and I bet you what they was really mad about was more than anything, they was crying because they only got 12 cans of past blue ribbon and shit. This is a I mean, they literally sent people telling me I'm supposed to laugh at this shit. I didn't find it funny back then, and I still don't today. Like behind every laughter, there is a vision of a hatchet man, you know, one of those executioners with a black fucking bag over his head and no shirt on and jack body carrying an axe and shit, like in Golden Axe and shit. Behind every laugh, there's an image of that in my mind and shit, because it's like, That'd be funny to see, wanting to bring back the old executioner and shit. Fucking. I wouldn't mind. Hey, if I committed a crime, I go commit a crime on purpose and shit. If we brought back the executioner, fucking. Is that why they call it executioner? Because it's executioner. Fucking. I wonder. Probably is. See, I know shit. Fucking. It's shit simple to see. Fucking. There we go. Bet you it is. Fucking. What am I supposed to do? Motherfucker's trying to fucking pry my whole life from my hands and successfully doing so, too. So it builds up. Apparently, what's been happening in the world, they're trying to blame shit on me, but it's like, well, I'm sitting here in a room, buddy, so I don't know what you're doing. Well, actually, I do know what you're doing. You're actually doing this shit, but I guess I make a good scapegoat because people try to convince me of dumb shit that I don't believe, and I think sounds dumber than a mentally retarded toddler. But maybe I'll play along in 20,000 years. Once I get 20,005 years old, I was figuring I'll probably get bored of this, and I might employ a law. But because I'm gonna live forever, as because I'm supposed to be God. We'll wait till the year 20,228. It'd be 20,231. So by that time I'll be ready to play stupid fucking games and win stupid fucking prizes. Because I've already got so many stupid fucking prizes right now. I don't have time to play with them all and shit, right? So many stupid fucking prizes from all the stupid fucking games everyone's been playing and wants me to join out with the reindeer games and shit. Fucking, when do I get to play with? I was promised I get to play with. Why do I even get the prizes if I don't get to play with them? Shit, you know what I'm saying? Fucking, I got a broom over there. I can do some martial art. I know kung fu. I know kung fu. Fucking, I got a broom I can play with. I got a bottle. I can play with the bottle. See, check this out. I'm not even lying. Right there. The bottle. What does that say? It says, I'm a good person. Now, if you see anything else, you is a liar. You is the devil. You is the devil. You is the devil. Fucking says, I'm a good person. Get me $5. $5 now. Now. Oh, it's not really funny. Wouldn't it be funny if it was that easy and shit? And it was just like, that's how it went every time. They're like, come over here, learn about this, learn to shoot people and stuff. Oh, look at that, I shoot people. At least it'd be funny. It's always been like weird and hostile. It's like, why am I at a military camp? I'm 6 years old. This doesn't seem right. Whose military am I going to fight for? I don't even like these people. I want to go fight, I want China to train me. I'm like 6 years old saying this shit, too. I mean, like, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed in me. It's all the different fucking filters of sewage fucking around me and shit. Nothing has changed in me. It's all been the same since I can remember being conscious. It's like, yeah, they're like, I'm like, oh yeah, check that out, them Asians, they're people. And then they're like, nah, they're evil, they eat cats. And they're like, here's a baseball. I go outside and touch grass, and I'm like, do Asians touch grass all day, or do they like raise their children and educate them and shit on valuable things? And they're like, Asians are evil, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna assume that Asians are actually angels, because everything you seem to be saying is a lie. So ever since I was a kid, I assume you go to like China, and it's like heaven, you know, like all the images of heaven, like giant golden gates and rainbows, and you walk on clouds, and people walk up to you and they were like, "Hi, so would you like to try fried rice with chicken today?" And I'm like, "No, thank you, sir. I'm here for the sights." Oh, yeah, I assume that, you know, you say dumb shit, and I assume the opposite of what you say. So you know, like when I go to a military camp and you tell me it's learning, uh, it sounds like dumb shit. It's like, oh, I mean, it's for the dumbass. It's for learning to be a dumbass. When am I going to have my freedom to shoot a gun? Why am I even touching a gun? Because I'm not going to be allowed to touch a gun anywhere else. I'm not going to be allowed to go outside and shoot a gun. I'm not going to be allowed to shoot anyone fucking causing me problems. I'm not going to be allowed to shoot any overprivileged people in overprivileged nations like America. I'll tell you that. And I'm not going to go shoot any of the other people who haven't caused me any problems. So that's out of the question. And yes, this is fun, shooting a gun. Oh, I only get to shoot it one time. One bullet? Okay, so I don't think the purpose here is for me to have fun. I think the purpose here is for me to learn to do these things, so you can use me later in life to do these things. In your military, which you're not part of, but it turns out to be. You see, how do I know this when I'm 6? And then I look it up when I'm 45, and that's exactly what it was created for. You're being lied to. That's why you don't know anything, because you want to be lied to. You want to believe in lies. You want to be brainwashed. Whatever it is, you don't want your mom to hit you, who's the one trying to brainwash you. You don't want your dad to kick you in the teeth, who's the one brainwashing you. You don't want the government to shoot you, who's the one brainwashing you. Whichever one it is. It's either, there's no fucking way in hell, if you're a living being, that you don't know these, because it's real fucking simple when they speak. What they're saying, it's like a slimy worm trying to reverse conversation and shit. And sure, it helps to go there and learn, like, hey, this is military training. Why am I going to military training at church? I thought you guys were love, peace, hope, and truth, and not colonizers on stolen land. Oh, that's right. That's right. It's all a lie. Oh. Fuck that shit, dude. So apparently, I'm going to make the assumption the reason they promoted the goth thing so much was because of they took over Germany, and they culturally appropriated them. Well, they did that, and you noted. Look at the timeline. When did they take over Germany? 1950. By 1950, America. Half of Germany was USA land, and half was Russian. So I think it was by 1950. And so look at that. So they took over that land. So even if we want to be like, well, we're just making up history, it's like, well, if you're one of those people who can be like, well, we're just making up history when we read it, well, realize everything you said is a lie, and you're making up way more history than I am. Fucking. But everyone believes this Nazi shit happened. And what happened there, what they don't want to tell you is USA took over the land. Like USA took over parts of Palestine and shit. And took over Australia. And will swoop in and take over parts of Ukraine and took over parts of Venezuela and took over parts of Mexico. And, in the last couple of years, took over parts of Syria, Iraq, Iran, fucking, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What USA gained from that was half of Germany. And then it was called like West America and then like East Russia, and then they renamed it back to Germany or something. Yeah. Most likely, right? Fucking, it sure looks like America. Those Hollywood stars are the people I'm being advertised as Germans. It sure looks like, it doesn't look like German people when I look at that German shit. Fucking, obviously not. They're just like Hitler. He didn't really look like the people he said he was either. Fucking. And especially the people around Hitler didn't look like that either. Especially that priest he had. That priest had gray skin and fucking like light fucking gray hair and shit. Fucking. Man. Yeah. Well, we'll never figure this out because I know the answer lies in deep-seated fear. Because I'm pretty sure I'm on to the facts. It's not hard for me to see the facts, obviously. I go to school, I sleep, I wake up, I take a test, I get 110% on the test, and then I leave school for the month, and then I come back a month later, I take the test, I get 110% on the test, and then I leave school for a month. I'm kind of used to this shit, fucking. It was a waste to go there, huh? It definitely was, but for some reason I was forced to, and they passed laws against it, against me leaving, and then I found ways around that. And then if you tell me to leave, it's not me leaving. That's the thing about stupid people, is they don't understand that smart people can think. And not only do we think, the thing is, I think we instinctively make moves in our lives without even knowing why we're doing them. But it's there, and it's a good decision. Fucking, I don't know. I think it's all set up, to be honest. And I want some answers on that shit. And I think this has something to do with it. I don't think I know this has something to do with it, because they pushed it in my life a couple times. 3 times. Fucking, it was very hostile. Fucking, like a hostile takeover, like they had, like when they go to Palestine or Iraq or Iran, it's a hostile takeover. Or like when they go to Africa or they go to North America, it's a hostile takeover. Or like when they go to Ukraine, it's a hostile takeover. It's a hostile takeover. It's a hostile takeover. It's a hostile takeover. Like every fucking time. Like when they fucking force you to go to their school, it's a hostile takeover of your family. Fucking like when they force you to go to the hospital, it's a hostile takeover to go to their drugging centers. Fucking, and to go to Pablo Escobar's fucking palace. That's what we need to call the hospitals from now on. Pablo Escobar's palace. Fucking. See, if you don't stand up to these people, then you're working with them. That's the thing here. Is see this whole what's this little sissy term they got? Plausible deniability, and whatever fucking. I don't know how they're doing the networking together, because I can tell you it seems like some of them aren't smart enough to be able to network. And that's really weird how they can network well when they seem they lack the mental facilities to be able to network at all. That part's confused. Not so confusing. I kind of lean back on the thing that loudmouths saying they is real 24/7 are not real. It seems to be the story of Pinocchio might be invented to tell us something there about what's going on. They talk about that too. The Bible talks about inventing fake people. About the Bible, people can invent clones and robots. They call them golems, but robots, right? Call them robots. Fucking. They make them with weak flesh so they can kill them. Fucking. They don't make them with steel. Fucking. There definitely is something out there. Something's adding up there. But it seems to be. They're the ones breathing the hot air, the Terminator rhetoric that they is real people and they got souls and they're living beings. And everything else they say is a lie. So why would they want to tell the truth ever? It doesn't seem like it would benefit. And don't they say that too, that they can't ever stop lying? Don't they say that in that book, that they can't ever stop lying? They're telling you in the book they can't ever stop fucking lying. Fucking. And then that's weird because if they can't ever stop lying, a hell of a lot of shit that would mean that there isn't a truth. And that would be like if they say they're going to work, they really don't work. Which is weird because I get people in my life who tell me, hey, I actually don't work. That's just a fake job there. I get paid, I give money to someone else. Whether that part might be a lie too, giving money to someone else. Not sure, don't care, but I know that first part's a lie, fucking sometimes, because for some reason someone told me that. And I had no reason to believe that they were lying about that part, fucking. But they were lying about having a job for the longest time, right? Fucking. And if they can't ever stop lying, then that would mean, and it says they can't ever tell the truth, and that would mean they're lying about actually working. And they would be lying about being real and having souls. Because that would include everything. The word everything is a big sphere that surrounds everything. And yeah. I used to think about that. Like, I remember one time someone told me they ate a cheeseburger. They were eating a cheeseburger and they were eating a cheeseburger. And it's like, so I guess they don't lie about everything, right? And I'm like, well, if the cheeseburger doesn't exist and they don't exist, then they're not eating a cheeseburger either, huh? Fucking. Not sure how deep that goes. We shouldn't discuss that. We should discuss the facts instead of invisible bullshit. Invisible people bullshit, because invisible people bullshit is their game, and I don't play that, and I don't encourage you to listen to people talk about invisible people bullshit. Fucking, because I won't listen to you if you start talking about it. It's got something to do with that. I think it's got something to do with this cultural appropriation, and in their inability to create new words. You know, you go and kill off the Native Americans, so what happens? Now everyone in America is part Native American, right? So they talk about it all the time. You talk about it, you're like, oh, what happened to the people who used to be here? They're like, oh, well, we're part of them, and well, someone else killed everyone else off. I'm half of them. I think the other half of me came down from space, probably. Antarctica or Greenland, maybe. And then other people killed them off. Yeah. Evil people, yeah. Anyway, so as I was telling you, I need $5. McDonald's having this great sale today. See, I asked all those hard questions early on in life when I was like 6.
And then I never spoke to anyone again after asking a couple questions, because their answers, so the omission of silence and the weird negative response and the stalls on the language and the hostile, I'm going to kill you if you ask that type again. Each of those things to me, it seems like an admission of guilt. And so when I quickly was like, well, we're going to have to find someone we can talk to someday in life. And does do things we do so we can move forward in life. Because supposedly the goal of life was to find a woman and have kids with her and slap her and have her cook food and raise your kids. And I was like, well, at least if we're going to do that, it's going to have to be someone I like. And I'm probably not going to slap them. But maybe it works better if it's someone you don't like, as long as you don't have sissies breathing down your throat that you're not supposed to slap them if they get out of hand. That doesn't work very well if you get with someone you don't like and you don't knock the shit out of them constantly when they get out of hand. That wouldn't work very well. How does that work? It doesn't. You're going to be the one getting the shit knocked out of you because you're the dumbass to begin with. Fucking love it. Love it. Fucking what a waste of life this place has been. Fucking this is all it's been. Ever since I'm 6, I fucking know what's going on. What they're fucking up to. Hated their fucking guts. Was definitely tortured into not representing my true feelings. You know, it's while they're torturing you, they're sending you to places to try to dig information out you because they're little fucking Terminator parasites who want to make sure it's like 1984 fucking where they like beat the person repeatedly until he says 1 + 1 = 6 and shit, because that's what they do. That's all their people. That's the point of their language. That's the point of language. That's where books come from, where writing comes from. That's why YouTube and TV is filled with a bunch of filth, and there's no place that's routing out a bunch of fucking low IQ ignorance. It's because they're all trash. It's because they're all trash, involved in being trash. And once they insert themselves, the supposed excuse is once they're 6 years old and they decide to align with fucking trash, that now they're on a path of trash for life, and it would take just as many decades as they spend into it to fucking pull themselves out of it if they want to. But understanding the benefits, the profits, and the profit margins and everything that they've gained from it, I suppose most people are probably like, yeah, no, fucking, we're not going to talk about that. And they said that too in the media too. They're like, we're not going to talk about Jeffrey Epstein owning this city and having his name on everything because he's done so much for us. That's what it is. He's done so. It's because they don't care about anyone but themselves. They don't care. They don't care about their own children. They don't care if Jeffrey Epstein raped their own children because it's just a stupid fucking slave that they had that's costing them more than they fucking bargained for because they're failed at math. And they can't do the math of having a child. It's a profit loss, not a profit gain. Fucking. But, what can you do? Other than that, they just know, and they don't give a shit. They just want to kick it around. And they don't care the cost. Fucking shit like that's definitely happening. Our lives are being set up, and the trash around us is supporting that and setting that shit up. I can tell you that much. Fucking, I can tell that trash I was born around and forced to be around the first fucking quarter of my life fucking was heavily involved with this Nazi fucking religion and their government. And of course I'm wrong, and they're great people because they say they are. The first sign you're trash is having to have a book telling people you're a good person. It's the first sign you're trash. No, you can't even write a book. Who wrote that book for you? What the fuck?
That is super. You get such trash. You can't even write a book saying you're a good person. You gotta fucking buy it off someone else and show it to someone. I'd at least go back to the Pope and be like, yeah, hey, look, cool. You wrote a book saying you're a good person. Hey, you're a good writer. Oh, that's a great book. Fucking, that's a great book. But that's probably AI regurgitated bullshit. So I don't think any of them wrote it. Fucking, I think just like the Trump clone in my life said, he ain't actually doing the job he's saying he's doing. And I don't think it's because it's being outsourced to China. I think it's because Pinocchio fucking understands that the roads are building themselves and shit. Kind of get the idea that that's happening because look at the weather right now. The weather's building itself, isn't it? Fucking. Look at the COVID. The humans shut down. The network wired antennas sent out the signal to go into hibernation mode. Literally took some of them out the game, which signifies they fucking their beings of light. And it's just lights on a display unit. Fucking. I know, maybe those cities were ghost towns. Yeah, right, dude. That one city was like a war was going on there, supposedly. And none of the homeless people in the war were even at the homeless camp. But no one was in the streets anywhere else in the city. It was like took them straight out of the fucking game and shit. Took them straight out. Maybe the whole West Coast is just Hollywood stage and shit, and that's why they got to separate themselves and have their church battleground in between the East and the West to prevent other people from crossing over. Maybe we won't know for sure, but I'm sure that's more accurate of a guess of what's. I mean, I'm the one telling you it's a ghost town, so anyone telling you it wasn't ever any day ever, and that person, everything they're saying their entire life, write that off as a lie. Anything they say ever again too. Fucking don't. Why is this person even going to talk to you? Why are they going to force their way into your life and talk to you and hear any more of their bullshit once you know they're a liar? That's because that's what predators do. They lie and pray and pray. I think that's the reason they call it praying. And they eat the gods' blood and flesh and shit because they're predators who are preying, homosexual pedophile predators who are preying upon people and shit. It's all pretty easy to see. Fucking. Now, you got the hot air of this dipshit sewage looking Einstein and his fucking loser friends, slaves. You know what? If you're working so hard, go do some work, slave. Stop fucking talking and making videos. Go fucking scrub some toilets or some shit. Fucking just shut the fuck up. Go work instead of fucking yapping. You got them supporting that is real too. The new religion of Pinocchio. All signs of everything's living and real. And I just look really stupid because we haven't invented plastic surgery yet. Fucking. Yeah, the goth shit seems extra stupid when you realize it's related to Sauron invaders and shit. Not only is it like shitty fucking music and fucking lame people are like, I mean, it's better in country, right? But I wouldn't want to date someone who's like, can you stop working on technology and come touch grass? Come touch grass. Don't do anything of value, because then you'll learn I isn't real. Fucking. That seems to be the whole goal here of these fucking mutant pedophiles. Fucking is to. It seems like their entire language is to hide that they aren't mutants and they aren't pedophiles because they don't actually exist. Well, they aren't pedophiles. They look like mutants, but it does seem to be. It does seem to be. I've been having to deal with this shoved down my throat my whole fucking life, and of course that's what homosexuals do: is shove shit down your throat. Um, and of course, if it's a woman, that's called fag hag. She's trying to get you in with them. Fucking very common thing in all these topics I've just discussed. I have, yeah, oh yeah, oh definitely, fucking half the people into my life, forced into my life and shit, and it's like I just sit around like, when is someone I like gonna come around? When is someone I have something in common with going to come around? And they're like, you must accept the foreign hordes of Israel into your life. You must date who we force around you. Our disgusting people we bred with and dumped our shit children on the planet with. Fucking. It sure seems to be a repeat pattern here. And why it's allowed to go on, and they're not being fed to tree shredders if they're actually doing that, which they say they are, and everyone else says they're doing it, and it sure looks like that's what's happening. There's a lot of other guilty people for allowing them to do it. Fucking. Just like before 2020 happened, there was a hell of a lot of people involved in those pre-2020 events. That's why I don't like America. I mean, I never liked America, but it's like now I understand we're mortal enemies and shit, and that's just going to be the way it's always going to be. And they can stop taking their dicks out their pants and whacking off and shit, and accept it. You know, it probably makes them fucking harder and shouldn't come harder to know daddies in the house. Oh my god, it's so fucking sick. Oh, it's so fucking sick the shit I've dealt with fucking from them. Oh, damn, dude. Fucking sick motherfuckers. But, hey, see, the stuff I want to do, if I get my hands around their necks, is not sick, right? It's going to be a cleansing. It's going to be joy to the world, and beauty, and exhilaration, and cleansing. Right there, I already got the word cleansing. I think I came up with a better word than that. Fucking. That's pretty much what it is, right? Fucking. You know, as you can see, maybe that cleansing's happening. That'd be cool. I'm really not going to throw it into the boat that, I mean, it's their enemies, right? It's their enemies collapsing in the earthquake right now, so I'd say the deformed rat rapist fucking might have something to do with that, more than me just saying kill everybody. But probably not. And the trash is super trash. They're hiding their fucking non-player characters, and which means they've had clones for a while. Fucking, which means trash is hiding trash. So there's super trash somewhere hidden behind the trash, which doesn't relieve the trash of their what's in there. They're convicted of the charges they've been convicted on. Fucking, but, which of course they're trying, right? They're invisible. I'm a robot. I mean, I'm a living being, but I'm being controlled by a computer in the sky. I can't control myself. It's Satan. They haven't gone there yet. You know, they invented, they wasted 6,000 years inventing that. And I'm not sure if it's because of my ability to cut the conversation short and skip past their bullshit, but I've never seen them do that. I haven't do that. Fucking. How many times do you think this trash uses the phones to interrupt our lives? They use these trash whore parents of ours to enslave us to their fucking Nazi communities. And then they fucking use that trash whore to try to get us to be gay. And then along with the Nazi fucking temples and shit, fucking combined like the power of the LGBT Voltron and shit, you know, the Satan, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Elephant God, Birdman. This one, we are Voltron, the ultimate child dick licker. Look it, baby. Show me your butt, little baby. It can't understand what you're saying. It's a newborn. Oh, I'm gonna slap it if it don't listen. Big boy better learn to listen. It doesn't understand, you fucking moron. You're a retard. It's almost as dumb as you. It's not true. Jesus said so. It's a living person and it's equal. Ah. It's trying to make up some new words, right? Got some new conversations. I imagine these are the conversations I would have if I talked to people and shit. Fucking, I'm trying to imagine what life would be if I was that fucking stupid to do that. Fucking actually talk. Like, it's not safe. You know, you'd have to be like 100 feet from them to be honest with them and shit. Because, man, Aegisaurus charge ain't a fucking fake fable I made up. It's a fucking real pro wrestling move the bitch has. And it's not. It's like pre-programmed into their nuggets to do shit. I've had the Aegisaurus charge many times and shit. That's weird. Aegisaurus charge almost always leads to Aegisaurus face down on the fucking, hitting their face on the ground pretty hard. That's weird. Repeat patterns. Huh. Interesting. Joey kind of Aegisaurus charged me and then he hit his head on the wall. But the two other Aegisauruses, fucking Karens, fucking, both of them charged and hit the fucking face on the ground and shit. And then they was like, why do you hit me and shit? And then calling the cops, you hit me. And it's like, no, you tried to hit me and instead you hit the ground. I don't know what you're talking about, but you know, then the cops arrive, the Nazis arrive, and they're like, yes, ma'am, do you have a Hebrew vagina? Oh, God said protect it. Can I sniff it? Can I wash your feet so I can sniff the AIDS? And they're like, no, you're a man. I hate men. You're ugly and disgusting. I only like women. You need to get him, the evil person who hit me away. And the Nazis are like, hey, coming at me. And I'm like, hey, look, I got on video. Like, they were charging me because I was recording them and shit. Look, I got on video. They charged me, and they were the ones trying to hit me. And they're like, we don't care. Hebrew vagina. It smells like AIDS. This room smells so great. It smells like Bible and AIDS combined. Hail Hitler. Hail America. And steroids feel really good in the meth I'm smoking. Nazi steroid meth cops. We're here to kill. We're gonna kill someone today. Fucking trash America, the place I don't want to be. Trash America, we need to liberate it so Earth can be free. Trash America, flush it, don't clog the commode, divide it into little pieces. Is it biodegradable? Trash America, flush, 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 flush.